the middle. It's a foot race down the field. Taken out of bounds. Right there, Stephen Bradford. And Bradford, who has been the leading rusher for this team all year long, rips off a 40-yard run against the Hornets. First down and 10 at the 34. Bradford stays in at the running back. They hand it off to Bradford again. He gets backed up, puts the car in park, and the Hornets stop him for no gain. It's going to be a loss of 2 at the 37. It's going to bring up a second down and 12. Aaron McGee goes in the slot on the far side of the field. Straight up the middle, another dive play that is working so far for this team as Brandon Jordan gets a night gain of 5. So Brandon Jordan comes in and picks up positive yardage. Brings up a third down and 8 right at the 34-yard line. Jordan stays in at running back. Dion Moore over here. They go straight up the middle again. It's going to bring up a fourth down right across the 30. They're going to mark him down at the 29. So the running attack is working. And speaking of running attacks, I got my partner Corey Neyland next to me here for the running attack. Big fourth down. Corey, the Warriors are going to go against this Hornet defense who has not been able to stop the run at all.
Yeah, as they should. And they held Allen Hancock to 3 yards rushing last week. Tonight, 40-yard run by Bradford on the opening drive.
Beautiful defensive play. They thought they had the Hornets in defensive troubles. They roll it back out in the flat, and it is sought out by the linebacking core for the Hornets.
Yeah, Junior Wiley almost came up with a big interception. You know, he was slow a couple weeks ago, is the running joke, against College of the Canyons. They came back with the viciousness against Allen Hancock, and there they almost had a turnover interception. And if he catches it, he could have been off to the races 4-6.
So the Hornets come out.
Recap that first drive, Mark.
Well, I mean, they moved down the field well. They got all the way down to the goal line. It was 2nd and 1. Then they had a holding penalty that moved them back, and they stuttered their way to no man's land. Galban back in at quarterback. Flips it quickly over here in the flat. Taken there by Kuntz. Kuntz gets driven out of bounds. Had a gain of 3 on the play. So Kuntz to the near side of the field. In the slot next to him is going to be Jordan Smith. On the far side of the field is going to be Keshawn Griffin. In the backfield at quarterback is Galban.
Don't forget, Mark, this is an audio-only broadcast for the Hornets.
Galban goes back, looks to the right side, finds the middle of the field, taken right there. And Corey, a nice read by Galban because he went to Coy Thomas, which was his second read when he looked at it.
We had enough time to make the pass, and excellent work by the offensive line for the Hornets. Again, audio only. The video belongs to the home team. That's El Camino. If you want to watch the game, Mark, it's $7.95 on the El Camino homepage if you want to watch the action.
Coy Thomas and Huffman to the near side of the field. Galban goes back. Nobody's freed up. You want to get a flag, and there's a flag against Keshawn Griffin. Finally gets the flag, Corey. It was bump and run defensively for the Warriors.
Yeah, bump and Keshawn run. and that's what happened. That's why Devin Jarvis had to hold him coming from over the middle, because if he catches that, you saw on his kickoff return, a 70-yard kickoff return, you know, he could have been off to the races and scored. I got it. That's my only cliche I'm going to use for the rest of the night.
What's the over-under on that?
3.
Okay.
I'm at 2.
All right.
So your offensive line for the Hornets are going to be Eduardo Barajas Contreras. Nathan Ramirez, Marcelo Sainz, Daniel Medalist, and is Nick back in there today? He was injured, limped off last week. And we'll see if Nick Siatanu is in the ball game. And it doesn't look like it. Looks like Andrew Sanders II is in for him at the left tackle position.
First down and 10 at the 35. Galban was supposed to hand it off to Brandon Rankins. Mishandles the snap, but very smart on his part. He tucks it himself, takes it straight up the middle, and gets a gain of 5.5 on the play.
Good head on Galban. Again, there was something interesting, Mark, that you mentioned to me earlier before the broadcast. Fullerton quarterbacks haven't thrown a TD this year.
They have not. In all their games, not one touchdown pass yet. Sean Griffin goes in motion from right to left. Galban looks over to this side of the field, pushing and shoving. Good play on that. You get a referee if somebody's at home says, wait a minute, ref threw it out. It's where the receiver steps out of bounds. So they mark it strictly like that. No flag as Coy Thomas basically runs his route out of bounds for an incomplete pass. It becomes a 3rd down and 5 at the 30. Coy Thomas to the near side of the field. Brandon Rankin in the backfield. Chandler at quarterback. Rolls out. Throws it to Keshawn Griffin at the 30, and he's taken down by 2, Corey, which was an extended run play that went nowhere.
Yeah, and 4th down here, brought down by Judah Foycia, or Foyche. How do you want to say that? Foyche or Foycia?
Let's say Fourche. I like that.
All right, Foyche.
Charles Byers comes to the near side of the field. In the slot next to him is going to be Mike McCray. Byers, who's probably got the best hands on this Hornet team. 4th down and 5, right at the 30. Chandler still at quarterback. He's been looking good, still looking for that first touchdown pass. Has time to go, throws it there. Is Huffman inbounds when he catches it? It is. Huffman comes on a curl back to the quarterback, and Galban puts it right there. Huffman gets a first down. First down and 10 at the 20. Byers comes up far side of the field. Again, look for him. He's got great hands. Get a little motion, not called there. Middle of the field, all alone in the corner. Touchdown, Fullerton College. Huffman's got a touchdown.
21 yards from Galban to Huffman, the first touchdown pass for the Hornet quarterbacks this season. 4 games in, and they're up 6-0.
And, Corey, I really do think that the Warriors saw what I saw. At left tackle, there was early motion. They all stopped, thinking there was going to be a flag. No flag thrown. Galban took advantage of it because Huffman just kept running and said, I'm all by myself.
Yeah, Sanders did move back. He took a big step with his left foot back.
The ball is spotted. Kick is up. And the kick is good. With 7:31 to go here in the first quarter, it's the Hornets 7, the Warriors nothing, here on sportsnetusa.net. Well, maybe you can't see it, but Corey Neyland and I were driving in an old Toyota today. Boy, it would have been nice if we could have stopped at Miller Toyota of Anaheim and picked up that new Toyota. Gabby would have been comfortable. I'd have been sitting in the back seat with a smile on my face, and Corey would have been just looking at everybody like, yes, I just bought a new car for my wife. Believe it or not, I reached into my wallet, blew out the dust, and picked up that new Toyota at Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Miller Toyota of Anaheim, proud sponsor of community college sports and education.
Yeah, but the Spiders bit me.
Back deep is going to be Roy Davis and Jabari Hughes for the Warriors.
So Fullerton coming off a 41-7 win over Allen Hancock. 52-13 or 59-13. El Camino beat San Bernardino last week.
Taken at the 8. Looks to cut the outside. Finds an opening. Follows his right back. And now goes the opposite direction of the field. Oh, what an open field tackle because the field was wide open. Corey Neyland. That was that new Toyota going all the way back home right there.
And that's Tyrell Green Jr. who makes the tackle. O'Shea Davis is the one who extended the play and impeded progress on the punt or kickoff return, allowing Green to make the tackle.
Roy Davis had field open and could have kept running all the way. Jordan at quarterback. They run it straight up the middle one more time. And this is a running football team, Corey. We talked about this early in the game. What happened to running football teams as Bradford picks up a couple and stays in at running back. But this is a running team.
Jordan Rice, Elijah, I'm sorry, go ahead, Mark.
Aaron McGee out far to the right. They look for McGee. They pull it down. Taken for a loss. Ball comes out. Let's see if they call the play dead, or is it a turnover?
Oh, Fullerton's got it.
Turnover for Fullerton. I'm going to go back and give you that one because that got yanked out like a fresh grape at a party.
Well, it was Isaac Hurtado with his 3rd sack of the season, his 2nd forced fumble. Troy Mcdonald comes up with the fumble recovery. And that was a beautiful play. Isaac Hurtado getting the start. He started the last 2 games for the Hornets. Troy Mcdonald doing all he can this season. He's leading the team in tackles. Leading the team in tackles for loss. Isaac Hurtado leads the team in sacks. I believe that's 3 unofficially. It could be 4 with Hornets in great position on this drive.
Trey Edwards now comes in a quarterback. Huffman, who got that touchdown last time out, is back there. Brandon Rankin standing next to Trey in the backfield. First down and 10 at the 18. Trey goes back, looks to his left, throws in the flat, throws it there, and it's on a dime. Corey, you know, I've loved the way Trey has thrown the football this season.
Yeah, especially on those plays. And Fullerton's coaching staff this week watched film all week long, realized we've seen a big cushion in the middle of the field.
Goes over to Charles Byers. Byers catches it. Great hands. Byers refuses to go down. Gets enough and should have a first down for the Hornets.
So Fullerton is 3-1 on the season, looking to go 4-1 to finish out the non-conference portion of their schedule. El Camino is 2-2. Beat Santa Monica, lost their next 2 games to Bakersfield.
Edwards keeps it himself, goes up the middle on a quarterback keeper, gets a gain right off the center across the 5. They're going to mark him down at the 5.
And Ventura losing the next 2 games, and they won last week against San Bernardino. Into the ball game on the right as right tackle. Now is Dylan Nichols on the right side. Peyton Sattler is now the center. And Sherrard Green is the left guard.
Huffman goes to the far side. Byers comes down to the near side. Edwards still at quarterback. Hands it off to Brandon Rankins. Touchdown, Fullerton College.
Number 7 for Brandon Rankins. Anything inside the 5-yard line, you can't tackle him. He's just too strong.
So Brandon Rankins gets it in again, and the Hornets with 46 to go here in the first quarter get double digits up on the board.
And it's a simple dive play. All it is, run whatever hole you want to call. Right side is the O hole. Left side is the one. That's the A gap, B gap, whatever you want to call it. He busted through it and gets 6.
I think we're short on the extra point team. Now we're getting somebody running out. Now somebody's running off. Now somebody else is running out. Need to know what teams you're on.
I'm on Fullerton, right?
Well,
Coach?
you are, yes. I'm not sure where I'm at right now. Ball is spotted. Kick is up. And the kick is good.
You mean what team I'm on the field?
Yes, there you go.
Okay, Coach, thank you.
All right. So the Hornets with 4:46 to go. Well, they put up 14 early in this quarter on wonderful defense and Corey Neyland. Quickly, we were going to get this in early in the game. What's happened to the running game in college football?
Oh.
You don't have that much time to tell me?
We don't have that. That's more like a Shakespearean epic, like Homer and the Odyssey and the Iliad.
I just do not understand what has happened to the running game in the game of football. Roy Davis is back deep again for the Warriors. Standing next to Davis is going to be Jabari Hughes.
And, Mark, you got to believe it's going to be cyclical.
Think it's going to come back eventually?
I really do think the running game is going to come back because why not?
I mean, the great runners that you and I have admired through the years. I mean, we were talking about the Pony Express earlier. You know, talk about great runners. Great tandem. Little squib kick, middle of the field. Warrior gives himself up. Therefore, he is down at the 34-yard line. Beautiful field position for the Warriors here in the late minutes of the first quarter on sports@usa.net.
And maybe we'll get into that at halftime. Maybe we'll discuss the implement of 7-on-7 at the youth level, high school level. That's really changed the dynamic. And really, the college game has really influenced the pro game with those passing innovators. Well, yeah, maybe we'll talk about that at halftime, Mark.
All right, Moore to the near side of the field. Straight up the middle once again fake that time, and a nice little deception play by Jordan, the quarterback.
And Jason Wallace is now in the ballgame, defensive tackle for the Hornets. Jason, sorry I missed you 2 games ago, but we got you now. Sean Morris also on the interior. Jesse Bediako on the right side end, and Troy McDonald the left end.
Sanchez and McGee to go to the far side of the field. Little screen pass on the middle of the field. Bradford taking off running. Nobody's going to track him down from behind. Finally knocked out of bounds on that. Stephen Bradford Jr. is a heck of a running back for this Warrior team.
And they negated the speed and aggressiveness of Fullerton coming up the field with a simple little screen pass to pick up positive yardage. The linebackers, as El Camino's going right to left, Nick Hurtado, Gil Vasquez, and Marcellus Gaines.
Tyler Luckett stacked now on the far side of the field.
Chandler Brown, the near side safety, and Jordan Wright, the near side corner.
First down and 10, right at the 36. Pass rush trying to get to the quarterback. Taken down, he throws it up. There's nobody in there, but he gets outside the pocket, and the ball goes by the line of scrimmage. Therefore, there's no flag for intentional grounding.
And rounding out that defense for the Hornets, far side corner as El Camino's moving right to left. Far side is O'Shea Davis, who's second start of the season, and Jonathan Smith, a product out of Fullerton High School, is the safety.
So you look at the quarterback, Stephen Bradford Jr., the running back. He's been the offense so far. Throw it out to the flat. Taken right there. Miss on the first tackle. A beautiful block. Taken out there. Tyler Luckett comes away with that. Big wide receiver, 5'10". Chandler Brown was out there for the tackle on that play. Now Brandon Jordan in at running back. Here comes the pressure thrown away. That does not get back to the line of scrimmage. He's inside the pocket, no receiver, no flag. And so the Warriors thank the referees for no flag in the play. The referees talking to each other about it. If I was a Hornet, I would say, wait a minute, nobody was out there to catch the football. And now, here comes the flag.
And Mark, the offensive line for...
Ooh, the old guy's got great eyes, doesn't he? So they called it intentional grounding because the quarterback for the Warriors thought he was going to get sacked. He never got outside the pocket, and Corey, he never got the ball back to the original line of scrimmage. Therefore, the referee talked, and a hanky was thrown for intentional grounding. That's loss of down, and the penalty is at the spot the ball was thrown. Brings up fourth down. Kashawn Griffin, who almost broke one at the beginning of the game, stands back there in the 10 and says, hey, are you guys up? You guys getting ready to call this one? Listen to the old guy get excited as I break this one off for 90 yards. Here at Murdock Stadium here in the first quarter with 3:02 to go on sportsnetusa.net. Hornets are coming after it, Corey. They lay out. Almost get it. Flag comes up, or should come up. Kashawn Griffin is taken down. And are they going to say that they got a piece of the ball?
They have to be saying they got a piece of the ball because that was blatant. If it's not roughing the kicker, it's at minimum a running into the kicker. But I think that's a roughing the kicker as he didn't have a chance to bring his kick leg down. Fullerton runs right into him. I think it's because they held up at the end, but that should not matter.
Wow. Wow, the Hornets get away with a quick one. That's the nicest way to put it. Corey and I were throwing flags from up here in the upper deck.
If we had one, I would have thrown one.
Trey Edwards stays in at quarterback. Charles Byers to the near side of the field. Hornets up by 14. Handed off to Brandon Rankins. He runs it straight up the middle. Finally gets gang tackled after a gain of 2 on the play.
Justin Sanchez there with the stop. Also in on the tackle, Kikoa Carroll.
Sean Griffin on the far side of the field. Trey Edwards still at quarterback. Second down and 9 for the Hornets. As the clock ticks down, we're almost at 2 minutes here in the first quarter on SportsNetUSA.net. The Hornets in their white and gray. Trey Edwards throws it quickly over to the flat. And defensively, a block was not made offensively, Corey, because really what you've got to see, T.J. Burton's got to throw a block. You're going to tell me I'm wrong on that one?
Yeah, T.J. Bird did throw a block. Problem is his receiver ran to the outside instead of catching it and moving up the field where he could have gained 6 to 7 yards. He tries to cut it to the outside into the block and into the defender, allowed the pursuing defenders to make the tackle.
Huffman, far side of the field. Byers, near side of the field. We're going to get time out, I believe. Let's see what it's going to get called. Illegal substitution. So the Hornets had too many players on the field, and they ran somebody off at the very side to the opposing side of the field. And so it was called at the last second, so that's going to move them back 5 yards. Brings up now a 3rd down and 14 for the Hornets. Byers steer out the near side of the field. Huffman in the far side of the field. Trey Edwards at quarterback. Trey Edwards handed it to Brandon Rankin. He chugs his way across the 10 to the 14. It should bring up a 4th down and 6. The Hornets need to put it away with 1:41 to go here in the first quarter, with the Hornets leading the Warriors 14-0 here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Murdock Stadium, beautiful facility here on the campus of El Camino College, and it's nice over the years, as from the 90s and the 2000s when we were here, it's a whole different facility and stadium.
Bryant Williams back deep for the Warriors. Ball just gets short hop off the side of the foot. Williams waves his players away. It's going to take a Hornet bounce at the 50, goes across midfield, and is going to be nestled just short of the 45-yard line. No, they're going to mark it right at the 45-yard line. So it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Warriors at the 45 with 1:01 to go here in the first quarter on SportsNetUSA.net.
45-yard kick, or 46-yard kick, we should say. And, Mark, they're honoring here at El Camino the all-decade team from the 90s.
Bradford in the backfield. Jordan still at quarterback. It's been a running game so far for the Warriors. And we continue that running gain of 4 on the play. So are you waiting, if you're the Warriors, for the Hornets to walk up and then try to exploit the pass game?
You have to.
2nd down and 9 for the Warriors. Right across the 45. They look over the sideline. McGee to the near side of the field with Dion Moore. They're stacked on top of each other. Jordan at quarterback looks things over. He goes back. Has time. Feels no pressure. Middle of the field. It's a foot race. Incomplete pass. Nice defensive play. It was 1-on-1 all the way down the field.
O'Shea Davis 1-on-1 against Desmond Sanchez. Sanchez wants a pass interference call, but just solid defense by Davis. And I like how Fullerton reacts to the stack set for both receivers on both sides. Davis, Smith working well together and communicating.
Sanchez goes back to the far side of the field. Jordan looks back over the sideline. Bradford still at running back. Aaron McGee and Dion Moore near side of the field. Go across the 4. It's picked!
Elijah Sanamiego Mott, I'm going to just call him Elijah, Mr. Mott, comes up with a big interception. Mekhi Jordan tried to throw another screen pass, throw it away because the rush, I should say, was bearing down on him. You had everybody. Bediako was in there. Mcdonald was in there. Dunnick was in there. Had no chance to rush it. Mott, his first interception of his career at Fullerton College. Should we say rumbles?
Well, I think that was, it did look like, being on the 405, watching that freeway get worked on, one of them big old dump trucks cutting Corey off at the Toyota. Wait!
What was great about Elijah is he knew he was going to get caught from behind. He covers up the ball with both arms, waiting for that hit, and puts Fullerton in great field position in the 24-yard line.
Galban back in at quarterback. First down and 10, right at the 25. Looking, feels the pressure, gets away, sidesteps one. He's going to go down. Gain of 2 on the play. Across the 25, nice scramble on his part not to lose any yardage. And that brings us to the end of the first quarter. As we come to the end of the first quarter, it's your Fullerton College Hornets 14, El Camino Warriors 0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Corey Neyland, Mark Pavlovich doing it old school today. There's no pictures. What's the deal? We got to tell them what's going on.
That's a good thing. Get a chance to be more descriptive on the air. We know you'd rather be watching and seeing a fantastic interception by Mott. We know you want to see Kashawn Griffin run 70 yards from the opening kickoff return. But, hey, we'll do our best trying to describe the action for you. Mark Pavlovich is doing the play-by-play, and only because I mentioned that because he's been here for Fullerton Open in 1913. He was here in 1914, actually 1912.
You know what happened when I got here?
Well, the school wasn't built yet, so he was here in 1912 waiting for the school to be built to be the first.
You know what happened when I got here, don't you?
What's
They
that?
looked at me and said, Mr. Dreyer, you're not being honored tonight. Fred, I'm sorry that you're here. I know you thought it was your class. Are you still working in Hollywood doing that?
It was great talking to Fred Dreyer the last time we were here in 2018. You guys had a great discussion. But again, Mark Pavlovich been here since 1912, calling Fullerton College Hornet football. Deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. So remember that. You're listening. Go ahead and go to the Fullerton College athletic page for Hall of Fame form. Put down Mark Pavlovich's name to get into the Hall of Fame because he should be in the next class, as it'll be well deserved.
Charles Byer to the near side of the field for the Hornet. Now in at running back is Ryan Black, who had a good game last week, Corey, when he played. So Black, who ripped off a couple beautiful runs for the Hornets, is now in at running back.
His first carry of the season, 55 yards for a touchdown on a stretch play.
Yeah, like I said, beautiful run.
Had 7 for 71 in the game.
Second down and 9. Galban's still back there. First touchdown pass by a Hornet quarterback. He feels pressure. He's taken down. He throws it away. He gets it towards Black, who came out of the backfield, so therefore no flag on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9.
Aaron House with the pressure. His helmet comes off, so he'll have to sit out one play out of Redlands East High School.
So Charles Byers to the near side of the field. Mike McRae in the slots right next to him. Then inside McRae is Christopher Kuntz. All three have been productive as receivers for the Hornets this year. Ball gets dropped, so it gets picked up by the quarterback. Chandler has to run with it one more time, Corey, on a mishandled hike. And now we'll see what happens where it's 4th down. See what the Hornets decide to do 4th down and 9.5.
Diego Gudino with the sack. And here is Cesar Velasquez, Mark, the reigning Special Teams Player of the Week in the SCFA. The 41-yard field goal attempt.
Yeah. Far hash marks is where the ball will be spotted. 14-14 to go here in the second quarter. The ball is spotted. The kick is up. And the kick is no good. So with 4:06 to go, the score remains the same. It's the Hornets 14, the Warriors 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, Mark Pavlovich, a familiar person sitting to us right. Look, he looks like he's chilly out here, doesn't he? Scott Giles is missing that sunshine. Boy, you think the lead of 14 point would give Scott some warmth for the Hornets in this game. Kai Jordan at quarterback again. Comes out. Throws it over the flat. Nice little pickup taken right there by Ernest McDaniel. And Ernest McDaniel, oh no, it was Tyler Lockett. I thought it was Ernest McDaniel who had the ball.
And Dylan Guerra is the quarterback now. We were told that they ran 5 quarterbacks last week. Dylan Guerra is in there now.
Oh, so Garrett at quarterback now. Hands off. Ball is stopped right there. So Dylan Garrett now in at quarterback. Oh, Dylan Guerra.
Guerra?
Gura?
Guerra.
Guerra. Dylan Guerra. That's why I've had Corey with me for all these years. I don't remember my last name. Dylan goes back. He's going to pull it down himself. Takes off running. Gets across the line of scrimmage. Therefore, it's not a sack, but it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9.
Co-tackle Dimitri Hernandez and Jalen Early.
So Guerra in there. Running back right now. Braden Jordan. Jordan throws a little block at the angle, thrown up in the middle of the field. All by himself, Corey Neyland, is Sanchez, who will just walk his way into the end zone.
Fullerton College in the first quarter got away, no penalty called on an illegal procedure on them. El Camino, false starts on this play, no call. Pressure on Guerra. Floats it up for Desmond Sanchez, who was wide open. There's a miscommunication with Jonathan Smith, and that's an easy 54-yard pass reception and touchdown.
And Sanchez just cradled the ball because nobody was going to catch up to him when he caught it. Ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick is good. With 12:51 here in the second quarter, well, it's become a little more interesting of a game. As the quarterback for the Warriors finally started throwing the ball down the field. The running game went away for a second. You're looking at me saying, no, it's the same game?
It's the same game, but again, they were looking to go down the field. The pressure was on, and that miscommunication in the secondary, that caused the wide open receiver to catch it and just stroll in for 6. I have no idea who's back there with Kashawn.
I think it's Jordan Smith. I want to say it's Jordan.
Could be.
With Kashawn Griffin.
It is.
Jordan
right.
Smith. Oh, say that again because I don't hear that too often.
I'll say it again for the CRTV 145 students. Number 11.
Which means I was right, which is nice. 12:51 to go. Here in the second quarter, the Hornets have their lead trimmed in half. Sun setting. Nice stadium here at El Camino at Murdock Stadium. I like Murdock Stadium. Picked up at the 10. Looking for an opening. Can't find it. Smothered and taken down. Jordan Smith just across the 20, maybe the 22.
Michael Gamage with the tackle. And officials for tonight's ball game. Referee Nelson Bay. Umpire is Sean Chamberlain. Field judge is Telvin Griffin. Back judge is Alex Sved. Linesman Kevin Morris. Center judge Kenneth I. And the side judge John Bataris.
Near side of the field is Coy Thomas. Standing next to him is Kashawn Griffin. Chandler Galban still in at quarterback. Throws it over here to Kashawn. Needs to get a block. Sort of gets a hug over there at the far side of the field. Coy Thomas wraps his arms around the defender. Nothing is called.
And you can hear the coaches in the sideline for El Camino yell, holding, holding, holding. No, no, no is what the officials say. But I like the officials letting it play, letting it go. You said they wanted to start the game 15 minutes early. They were anxious to get on the field.
They were ready. Galban comes back out. Gain of 7 on the play. Second down and 3, just short of the 30. Galban goes back, has excellent perception. Goes down the middle of the field, puts it on the money. Touchdown, Fullerton College. Corey, I'm going to let you call that because that was one of the prettier pass plays we have seen all year long.
Christopher Kuntz was in the seam on the right hash mark. He does a real skinny post, stays on the seam and gets to that X at the 35-yard line. Galban just laid it right on the money to a streaking Kuntz, and he shows quickness and speed. 6'1", 175 out of La Habra. 68 yards. Longest pass play of the season for Galban, longest reception for Kuntz.
You know what? Why do I have the feeling somebody's the ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick is good? Somebody is texting Garrett Campbell going, you know, these two guys keep saying you haven't thrown a touchdown pass all season. Garrett, you know, it's the old guy with that other old guy standing next to him. Ryan, you're not in trouble on this one. It's all Corey Neyland's fault.
And, you know, it looks like they game planned just for this. They knew there hadn't been a touchdown thrown. They knew the quarterbacks were not getting positive feedback from the fans and some of the broadcasters. And so they come out here and they throw 2 quick touchdowns. Galvin, I mean, that was a perfect throw in stride.
In stride, yeah, that was beautiful. That was a beautiful pass.
It looked like Kuntz was running a 200, and he made the turn, and he was wide open, and everybody else was running behind him.
Roy Davis is back deep one more time. So the Hornets quickly answer that touchdown by the Warriors. It's the Hornets 21, the Warriors 7, here on sportsnetusa.net. Taken at the 13, scrum in the middle of the field, and there's no place to go when you run into a wall that has no front door.
And, Mark, it may have taken a few games for Fullerton to find their stride. It looks like they struggled against Cerritos. You can tell the rust after 2 years. And against College of the Canyons, stop, start, sputter. And then last week against Allen Hancock, got the little bit of more confidence. And now in the first half, it looks like they're running well. We'll see how the rest of the game plays out.
You know, it was Dion Moore that handed off the ball, Corey, and they had a defensive back that came in as they were running an option play.
Dylan Guerra.
Oh, no, Dylan Guerra's in the game. So Guerra takes it down, middle of the field. Guerra's that throwing quarterback that they need on this team as he throws it to Tyler Luckett. And Tyler Luckett. So they're trying to keep the Hornets, and a missed tackle. And Corey, you've got to get these running backs that can run. That's Stephen Bradford Jr. You missed Bradford Jr. He's off and running.
Yeah, and that's a missed tackle, yeah, but I think that's just a better runner in Bradford Jr.
Guerra still in at quarterback. First down and 10, right at the 41. The Hornets jump. We'll see if everybody else jumped.
The left side of the Warrior offensive line was not set. And that's left tackle, DeWanye Ringfield.
So Guerra still in at quarterback. Braden Jordan now in at running back for the Warriors. First down and 15 right at the 46-yard line. They look over the sideline trying to get things worked out. Hornets defense has been exemplary. They hand it off to Braden Jordan. Comes up the middle. Gets a gain of 3 on the play.
Mott and McDonald on the stop.
Second down and 13. Right across the 45. 10:24 to go. Guerra still in at quarterback. Braden Jordan still the running back. Big second down. The Hornets come up. They've got pressure. Look in the middle of the field. Float it down the middle of the field right there to Sanchez. And Sanchez just can go and get the football, Corey.
Yeah, and that was one of great coverage by Jonathan Smith. I mean, he was on him like a blanket, but Sanchez just went up at his highest point and comes down with the ball. He's a big guy, strong guy, 6'1", 220.
Garrett, ball comes out, gets knocked away. It's still on the ground. Hornets come up with it.
And that's Chandler Brown, his second fumble recovery of the season. Has one interception. He has a nose for the football, second turnover by the Warriors. and they were at the 17-yard line, and Fullerton's going the other way, 79 yards for 6 points if they can get there.
They started Tyler Lockett in motion, Corey, and they came across, and the ball literally was, I wasn't sure if they were giving it to him on basically that little fly sweep that they run sometimes, and it just didn't get stuck into his stomach. Trey Edwards back in at quarterback. Mike McCray to the near side of the field. Trey in at quarterback. First down and 10, right at the 22-yard line. Trey hands it off straight up the middle.
Tyrell Green Jr. Special teams, very special teams performer. Now getting his first carry of the season, Mark, and strong run.
Gain of 7 on the play. Edwards looks over. This time throws it to Sean Griffin, looks for a block. Maybe gets 1, gets 2. He should get a first down. We'll see where they mark him out at. And on the far side of the field, they're already moving the chains.
Yeah, he got there.
They stopped them for a second. They started moving, then they went, wait a minute, maybe we need to wait.
They're going to spot the ball at the 33-yard line. That's going to be a first down unless they say, is there a penalty on the play?
Well, I didn't see a flag. Okay, there's no flag down on the field, but they're moving the Hornets backwards. And they're calling holding on the play. So, no hanky. The mystery call. Remember that for later when you call in to win that new car. It's what mystery call was made with 9:19 to go here in the second quarter. Corey's got a new car someplace, so we'll let him give you his.
Again, if you're just tuning in, audio-only broadcast. El Camino has the home game right, so they have a pay-per-view for $7.95.
Trey at quarterback. Runs a little delay straight up the middle, and no place to go was Tyrell Green Jr., who had a really nice run to start this off, and that one, there was no place. The door was shut, the bolts were locked, and everybody said it's time to go home.
Brennan Fields and Lando Brown. I'm going to say Lando has the best name in community college football in California.
Lando Brown. Huffman to the near side of the field. Tyrell Green still at running back. Trey Edwards still at quarterback. Third down, 14, right at the 19-yard line. 8:42 to go. It's the Hornets 21, the Warriors 7. Here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, myself. Scott Giles sitting up down the road from us. Trey looks things over, goes back. Pressure makes him throw. Looks for Huffman down the middle, flings it out of bounds. That'll bring up a fourth down. It's good coverage against Huffman, even if it was good. And we have a young man down on the ground at the 11, and the way he's slamming it is something none of us like to see from a young collegiate player.
And that's Brennan Fields who made the tackle on that second down play. On this third down play, Trey Edwards locked on to Huffman from the get-go. And by the time he threw the ball, there was double coverage. The safety did a nice job of bracketing Hoffman in the corner. Brings up fourth down. It looks like he got hit in the midsection.
Another nice turnout for a community college football game. This is a double stack tier of stands over here. So where we're at is nice, but down in the front, Corey, it looks like each section is packed, and then across the way to all those Fullerton College Hornet fans that showed up once again. Very nice turnout being on the road for the Hornets tonight. 8:23 to go. The Hornets up by 14.
We also want to thank SID Phil Thurman for Fullerton College, Scott Giles, and the SID and AD here at El Camino for allowing us to come and broadcast this game from this beautiful campus and Murdock Stadium on a nice night. It's getting a little bit chilly.
Yeah. I want to thank the home for letting me out and being past my curfew at 7:45. Thank you, Mary Margaret. I'll be home by 10 o'clock.
Field is walking off under his own power.
Bryant Williams back deep. He'll stand at the 47, steps up a couple back more, sort of crawls back to the 45. Found a soft spot, and the turf says, this is comfortable. I'll stand right here. No real pressure. High spiral. It's going to drop a little short. He's going to let it hit. It bounces in favor of the Hornets. They surround it, and it's finally down at the 42. With 8:23 to go, it's Fullerton College 21, El Camino College 7 here on SportsNetUSA.net. It's such a beautiful night. You want to get in the car and take off driving. I tell you what, if I were to do that, I'd go to Miller Toyota of Anaheim and buy a new Toyota. Miller Toyota of Anaheim is a proud sponsor of community college sports and, most of all, education. That's Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Guerra still in. Quick little pass. Turnaround. Nice throw there by Guerra. And he's starting to move it as Sanchez has become the receiver of the game for the Warriors.
Yeah, and Bradford running the ball early has opened up those passing lanes for the Warriors.
Guerra, quarterback. Hands it off this time. No hole opened up then.
And he's met by Dimitri Hernandez.
So it brings up a 3rd down and 1. The pass play made it 2nd and 9. Then you run it there. It's 3rd and 1. Defense stepping up. 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers. Pretty standard defense. Garrett keeps it himself. Straight up the middle. Looks for a flock. Finds it on the outside. Sidesteps. Refuses to go down. Gets his helmet grabbed and finally gets through at the thing. And that was Dion Moore, who I said was back there before, Corey, at a quarterback one other time. And I thought I was wrong, and it was Dion Moore. They run basically a wildcat every once in a while for this team. Garrett now back in at quarterback. Keeps it himself, says, well, Dion can run, and Dion can block because that's who made the block on the far side of the field. We'll see if that's who gets flagged for a penalty.
Yeah, that's coming back. Nice run by Guerra, but that's coming back.
You know what's nice is when you redeem me like that, where you go, hey, that was more running the ball, then I can go back into my pass and go, which
no, that
isn't too far back.
Yeah, that was
game.
Moore who handed the ball off that one time. Guerra was the quarterback. Moore did hand the ball off.
And we talked about who had the holding play on that, Corey, and you have to end up saying, wait a minute, that was Dion Moore that had the hold out there? So Moore gets called for that. Sanchez to the near side of the field. In the slot next to him is going to be Aaron McGee, who we haven't heard much of in this game at all. 1st down and 10, right at the 25. Roy Davis in at running back. Guerra at quarterback. Throw it out here to the flat. Taken at the 20. Nice little pitch and catch made to Davis.
So Hughes makes the reception, and Jonathan Smith, first on the scene. Nick Hurtado cleans it up.
Hole opens big. Touchdown, Warriors. And Corey, you look at that, and that's Roy Davis that basically came through there. 177 pounds, 5'7" freshman making that play. So let me correct that. That was the young man I've been talking about all game. That was Stephen Bradford Jr. with the running play.
And Levi Samaya did a nice job as the right tackle to seal the edge. I mean, young man is 6'4", 340, so he not only sealed the edge, he sealed another person and another person. He sealed the whole block, and that's what made Bradford Jr. able to stroll in on that right side for score.
So it's now 21-14.
So with 6:22 to go in the first half, let's see what type of drive Fullerton has here if they can get another score and go into half with a 2-touchdown lead, as El Camino's going to get the ball to start the second half.
So it's been ground attack versus air attack. Right now it's air attack up by 7. Ground attack staying close behind.
Bradford Jr. over 50 yards now in the first half.
Deep kick. Taken at the 5. Sidestep up to the 20. So it'll be first down and 10. So Kashawn Griffin, who looked great on the first time he touched the ball and went 67 yards almost into the end zone, now has been bottled up the last 2 times the ball has been kicked to him. Brandon Rankin comes back out at running back. Trey Edwards comes out at quarterback. Huffman comes to the near side of the field. Charles Byers on the far side of the field. First down and 10 for the Hornets at the 20. Sun is down. Trey Edwards throws it just a little off there. And Corey, you get a flag, and I've got to wonder what the flag is for.
The flag is for J.T. Dozier. A defenseless receiver on the ground. The ball was clearly overthrown. The receiver was on the ground. Dozier took 2 steps, maybe 3 steps, and still led with the head and hit. So I'm not going to call it targeting, but they should call it a late hit on that play. And was it Dozier, or is that number 8? Excuse me for the number, Devin Jarvis.
Conversation by the officials.
And it looks like it's Devin Jarvis, not Dozier. So it is Dozier's.
So you didn't necessarily think it was targeting, did you?
No, I didn't necessarily think it was targeting, but I did think it was unnecessary roughness on the player.
Okay. So they call it targeting, personal foul, and when you call targeting, they feel that's an intent to hurt another player. That's really what you're trying to do. And so you are eliminated from that game. Byers comes to the near side of the field. Mike McCray with Byers on the near side of the field. Trey Edwards at quarterback. So Edwards, first down and 10, right at 35. Waits for the officials. Now they start the clock, so Edwards gets ready. Hornets up by 7. Air attack has got the points for him. Running attack has countered for the Warriors in this game. Trey gets everybody set. Give it off to Brandon Rankins right up the middle. Gain of 2 on the play.
Lando Brown was in the backfield before the handoff was cleanly given. A minimal gain of 1 as there's an injured Hornet now on the field.
So with 6 minutes exactly here in the first half and the score 21-14, we have timeout on the clock here at Murdock Stadium as El Camino and Fullerton College are tied up in a close one here on SportsNetUSA.net.
And it's funny, Mark, we're always here, and I mean always here, only 2 times in the last few years, but we're always here. There seems like to be a special going on at Murdock Stadium. Last time we were here, they were honoring the team state champions with Fred Dreyer was on the squad.
Yeah, I remember because I went down and stood in for Freddie.
And we got a chance to talk to a lot of the players and a lot of the fans who were sitting right next to us. By the way, they were very nice and generous to Gabby, who was sitting over there as well. And Fred Dreyer came in and talked pretty much for a half with you about the state of the game. They're here honoring the all-90s team, all-decade team for El Camino. Later on this season, Fullerton's going to honor the 1965 team, I believe.
Yeah, they are. Trey Edwards goes back, rolls away from the thing, tucks it down, takes it himself, steps out of bounds when he gets to the 40, may get another yard on the play. They'll mark him out at the 41. So Trey being decisive when he has a chance to run and gets a nice gain to make it a 3rd down and 5 for the Hornets.
And we're going to make sure we have a whole lot of those players on for interviews, maybe before the broadcast, so we can air at a later time.
Yeah, you 145 students listening, realize that night Corey Neyland's going to have you on a leash making you do stuff. 3rd down and 5, right across the 40. Edwards goes back, has time, finds an opening, guns it there, and Corey, you look at the way they're threading. Huffman once again comes down with the football. Trey Edwards has been accurate all year long.
Yeah, and both quarters are putting dimes on with their receivers, just right on the numbers, Galvin and Edwards tonight.
Edwards goes back again. We're going to get a whistle.
False start.
With 5:04 to go. Get a little timeout. So we're going to move the Hornets back 5 yards. It'll be 1st down and 15 with the score 21-14 with 5:04 to go here in the first half. Corey Neyland, myself, Mark Pavlovich, Gabby Neyland, making friends inside. She's probably going to own the university when we get done. Charles Byers comes back in. Now he goes out. So Byers comes out. Near side of the field, Christopher Kuntz. Huffman in the slot on the near side of the field. 1st and 15. Trey, straight dive play up the middle, and then a Superman dive by defense. And then we've got wrestling. And Corey, let's give it to the officials because no flag was thrown on a wrestling match going on. I'll give it to the officials. I love that non-call.
It's Fullerton. They're moving right to left with 4:32 remaining, Mark, in this first half.
Trey throws it over quickly in the corner. Caught right there by Kashawn Griffin. Griffin steps out of bounds after a nice gain of 8 on the play. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and a long 4 if you're the Hornets, right at the 32. Edwards hands it straight up on another dive play. It looks like the Hornets are going to be short, maybe at the 30. That'll make them about a yard short, and now here comes decision time for the offense.
No decision time. Go for it as, who was that?
Griffin out to the right, Huffman out to the left. Edwards trying to get him to jump, looks back over the sideline. 4th down, a yard, and we'll get timeout on the field with 3:57 to go. It's the Hornets 21, the Warriors 14, an exciting community college football game here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And what you like, what you always tell me is you like Edwards and you like Galvin when they get on the outside.
Yeah.
4th down and 2 yards to go.
Yep.
Get Edwards on the outside and send a receiver out on a drag. If a receiver is there, you throw it to him. But if Edwards has any type of room, just run for that 1st down.
Take off running. Yeah, and Corey, it's not 1-2 look. Is Corey Neyland open? No, he's not. I'm off and running is what he's got to do. And this is one thing Mr. Neyland brought up last game we did, that he likes the fact our quarterbacks have progressively become more decisive in making that initial move. Yes or no?
Tonight, yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought you thought they did last game.
They did better last game, yes.
Okay.
So yeah, if you want to use progressively, yeah, we can say that.
All right, we will. 4th down and 2. Byers comes out to the near side of the field. That means Huffman should be on the top side of the field. In the slot will be Mike McCray on the near side of the field. Edwards looks things over. Brandon Rankins in the backfield. 4th down and 2. They run an option play. Give to Rankins, who picks it out of the air, then gets flattened 3 yards out of bounds. No flag on the play. Great hands for a big man, because that was not an excellent pitch on the option play.
No, got it to his good hands, the one without the cast, and they're moving the chains.
1st down and 10 at the 25. Trey steps back, feels the pressure, rolls out, says take off. Now I'm going to fling it. It gets tipped at the line of scrimmage on that play.
And that was great pressure by Diego Gudino, because he put the pressure on Edwards, because as soon as Edwards set his feet, he had Christopher Kuntz open on a post route in the middle of the field for 6. That pressure by Gudino forces him to roll out and an incompletion.
TJ Burden now in the game on the near side of the field as a wide receiver. Now in at running back, Ryan Black. 2nd down and 10 for the Hornets. Black gets it, cuts it, stays on his feet. Black's going to get a gain of 4. Corey, Black's got this little quickness when he hits the hole. You said last week he was really good, but he's got this incredible quickness at the hole.
Yeah, he does. And I think I called Ryan Clark earlier in the ball game. Sorry about that. Snohomish, Washington, Glacier Peak High School.
Trey Edwards fakes it to Black, backpedals, gets across the 15, and we'll see. It is enough to move the chains. So Trey uses his feet to get a 1st down. Burden, near side of the field. Kuntz in the slot next to him. Ryan Black to running back. Trey Edwards the quarterback. 3 minutes to go here in the 1st half. Trey Edwards straight up the middle. Dodges, follows the big guys, gets down to the 2.
Simply smart running by Edwards. Sherrard Green, Peyton Sattler, and Marcelo Sainz leading the way.
1st and goal for the Hornets. Byers now in the game at the far side of the field. We get timeout. And Garrett Campbell on the field was not happy with the way the offense was set up, so he calls a quick timeout with 2:31 to go. With 2:31 to go here in the 1st half. It's the Hornets 21, the Warriors 14 on Sportsnet USA.net. Earlier today, a little Golden West College football on Sportsnet USA.net.
They beat Long Beach 37-20. Right now on Sportsnet USA.net, El Camino College is playing with Dan Godino. Albert Robles joining him.
Wait a minute. We're El Camino College.
I'm sorry, East Los Angeles College. My bad.
I thought, wait a minute. I'm Dan Godino? I thought it was Mark Pavlovich.
Well,
dude, I'm old. Now,
yeah,
come on now.
Well, you got better looking if you're Dan. So I might take that, you know.
You'll be Albert?
No, you're Dan.
Oh, okay, I'm Dan. Because I was going to say, Albert, you know what? You needed to take better care of yourself as you got older.
LA Valley football also at 6 p.m. I'm sorry, the East Los Angeles game, that one was suspended. I'm sorry, it was canceled, so yeah. So you could be Dan, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and the official goes, let's throw a flag on Corey because he's not sure who he's calling the game with 2:29 to go. False start exactly here on SportsNetUSA.net.
So I apologize. So no East Los Angeles football tonight, but LA Valley football is on the air. Noah Alvarez and Albert Robles.
Corey just keeps making me feel younger all the time. That's what I love about my partner. Trey Edwards says, younger, watch this play. Gives it off to Black. Black turns the corner. Beautiful defensive play by that defensive line for the Warriors, not letting Black go anywhere.
Excellent play. Justin Sanchez, again, he read the play perfectly. That's what a defensive end is supposed to do. Come up the field, not slant and break hard down, because if he breaks hard and breaks in and slants down, Black is going on the outside and scoring.
Jordan Smith to the far side of the field. In the slot next to him is Kuntz. Edwards at quarterback. Put Kashawn Griffin in motion. Trey was going to let it go, Corey. Double clutches, now throws it out of bounds. Quickly saw somebody open, was going to let it fly. The defender stepped in front. He double clutched and took off running.
I think they're going to call a hold on the defender. And that's going to be a huge play if it is, in fact, against the Warriors for pass interference.
Well, I thought the receiver was out of bounds, and he ran out on his own. So we'll see what the officials say with 1:45 to go here on SportsNetUSA.net.
They would have dropped that hat if he had been.
Wow. Wow. If you're a Warrior fan, you're not happy at all with that call. Looked like good defense from up where we're at.
Well, we like physical defense, Mark.
We do, yeah. We like letting them play for either team. Brandon Rankins comes back in the game. 1st and goal now at the 6. Trey Edwards keeps it himself, puts his head down. Touchdown, Fullerton College. 1:39 to go. Trey Edwards gets his way back into the end zone. So Edwards on a quarterback keeper gets in, and now the Hornets increase their lead to 2 touchdowns with 1:39 to go here in the first half. The ball is spotted, the kick is up, and the kick is good with 1:39 to go in the first half here at Murdock Stadium, El Camino College. It's the Hornets 28, the Warriors 14 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Well, we talked about it earlier today. SportsNetUSA.net was out at Golden West College, and Nick Mitchell's team is looking good. They went in against Riverside last week and said, number one, what the heck does that mean? You've got to prove it on the football field, and it was Golden West College that took care of Riverside. So we shall see how the stats end up going as this year continues. The Hornets will end up playing Golden West College at the end of the year. Our friend Rashawn Haylock, Corey Neyland, and myself, and Ryan Osborne should all be in the booth for that game here on SportsNetUSA.net. Hornets up by 14, almost at the end, little squib kick down the middle of the field, takes an option, goes down at the 35. So it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Warriors, trailing by 14 with 1:36 in this first half. Running team against a passing team is what we have seen. Dylan Guerra comes back in the game at quarterback for the Warriors. Brandon Jordan, the running back, 1st down and 10 at the 33. Hornets almost jump. They flinch on the play. Come back over. Far side of the field. In the slot, Aaron McGee. Look for Aaron. He's a great little runner out there with it. Guerra pulls it down. Has a chance. Throws it off his back foot. A diving catch. And we're going to see, that is the most beautiful play you could see by receiver as Jabari Hughes lays out flat, drags his feet, and gets a reception right at the 42-yard line. Beautiful catch. Better balance on his part. 1st down for the Warriors at the 42. Guerra goes back, feels the pressure, rolls out again, throws it again over here to the right side, and Guerra is now moving the chains as Sanchez catches it one more time. Damani Sanchez has been the go-to guy in this first half for the Warriors. Gain of 7 on the play, 2nd down and 3. Right at the 37-yard line. Guerra comes back up, feels the pressure, looks back over the sideline. So 2 big catches right now for the Warriors. Sanchez pulling that one down. Guerra goes back, looks for Damani Sanchez again. Gives a little shiv right there and gets a 1st down. money receiver gets the ball, and Sanchez has been that person for the Warriors in this game. First down and 10. They're moving the ball with 1:13 to go. Hero looks over again. Sanchez has been one-on-one all night. Let's see if he looks for him again. He does. Sanchez gets a little push, goes up, almost comes down with it. And Corey, again, I'm going to talk about how much I love these officials. Sanchez throwing at the hand, trying to get separation. The official lets them both go after each other. No flag on the play.
O'Shea Davis is making his most as now the starting cornerback for Fullerton. Another pass breakup. That's number 4 this season in 2 starts.
Hornets jump, free play. They're going to stop the play. So it'll be a free 5 yards as Gurr gets them to jump.
And sorry for calling Damani Desmont earlier in the ball game. Damani, again, he's the go-to guy in the first half, like you said, and just nothing difficult or sinister about those routes. Just easy, simple routes, and he just goes up and gets them.
So, conversation, but it should be against the Hornets. They did jump.
Yeah, it's an obvious offsides. How do you like to say it, offside or offsides?
Offsides.
What is it?
Offsides.
With an S.
Yes.
Yes.
So they're going to move 5 yards up, stay second down, all the way at the 24, 58 seconds to go. The Warriors trying to answer. They have been a tough little ball club. They refuse to go away, and the defense of Brian Crooks needs to do something. Middle of the field, touchdown Corey Neyland. You couldn't have done that any easier if you were saying, let's play flag football. As right there, Brandon Jordan comes out of the backfield, finds the rush, goes by it, stands alone on the curb, gets that loaf of bread thrown to him, then goes home and makes a bologna sandwich.
And there's nothing you can do about that play because Brian Crooks said, okay, I'm going to dial up an all-out blitz. Okay, I went over my cliche mark. He put out an all-out blitz during the middle, and they just found it, called the correct play, easy 6.
Ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 53 seconds to go, it's the Hornets 28, the Warriors 21 here on sports@usa.net. Well, nobody thought, because you and I had talked, you looked at El Camino and they put on a ton of yardage on the grounds. People could look at their opponents and say, look who they played. But you still have to beat those teams that everybody says you should beat. And if you're going to beat them, you ought to beat the heck out of them.
Yeah, and they beat them handily. They're averaging over 420 yards total offense a game. Bradford Jr. averages 112 yards on the ground. I mean, they're really balanced. And they're showing it here. They've answered almost every touchdown Fullerton has as they're down 7. But again, it could be a lot worse.
Keshawn Griffin back deep. McCray standing right in front of him. So they stack the deep receivers on this kickoff. Now they split them up. Little pooch kick down the middle. They're going to let McCray pick it up. McCray bobbles it. Looks for an opening. Keshawn Griffin's trying to give him something. McCray runs out of bounds. We'll see where they mark him out with 47 seconds to go. Right across the 30. They're going to mark him at the 32 here at Murdock Stadium. What a great night for football. Beautiful stadium. Wonderful turnout on both sides of the field. And like Corey Neyland would tell you, hey, there's no better buy in the world than a little community college sports. You'll see the heroes of tomorrow. You know, I mean, I root for one every NFL weekend that played community college sports. Out of Butte College. Number 12, wearing green and gold. Galban tries to hand it off on a quarterback option, then it almost drops it on the play. So it's a 2nd down and 10. Clock continues to run, 31 seconds. Brandon Rankins now leaves the game. Tyler Green Jr. now in at running back. Kashawn Griffin to the near side of the field. Coy Thomas outside of Griffin on the near side of the field. And the Hornets are just going to play tick, 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 tick. As the clock sort of goes down, we're at 4, 3, 2, 1. And as we end the first half, it's the Hornets 28, the Warriors 21 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, Mark Pavlovich. Before I let you get away from me, I brought up the Nick Mitchell team. You and I have been around because, Rashawn Haylock has been calling Golden West College football for years. But we got to watch Golden West College play earlier today. They beat Riverside last week, and you'll have to admit, all of us on SportsNetUSA.net sort of went, wait a minute, did you see the Riverside game? We all were like, wait a minute, how did Golden West College do this?
They beat them soundly. Watch the game when we got home after last week against Allen Hancock. Watch the game, and Golden West dominated that game from start to finish. I mean, they look like the defending national champions, not Riverside. It's one of the worst games I've seen Riverside play, but that's because Golden West played outstanding. You know Nick Mitchell always has a strong defense. You know he's always going to get after the other team, and that's what they did, and they were confident on offense. This might be the most confident team he's had since they had Zamari Manning at wide receiver. I mean, that's how confident they have with Jake Ratzlaff at the helm. And the running game with Mike Carrillo is solid. Not great, but at least it's solid. And they've opened up the offense just a little bit to make you say, hey, they've got a defense. Now they've got some offense. They could be tough. And it's going to be an outstanding game when Fullerton does face him at the end of the season.
Well, we got to see him today when we went down to visit our counterparts at SportsNetUSA.net. And them against Long Beach, Corey, I mean, I know we've got some excellent wide receivers on this Hornet team. I watched those receivers for Golden West College, and those defenders stood no chance with them when they played against them today with Rashawn Haylock and Ryan Osborne and Ed Ford calling that game. I sort of felt like you. I'm thinking right now, is this going to be the most incredible game of the season for Rashawn Haylock, Mark Pavlovich, and Corey Neyland with Ryan Osborne standing behind us in the booth, where we might actually be saying, dude, you're out of your mind. That was a flag. It might be the first time we don't chuckle at each other. We might be growling at each other at the end of that game.
Yeah,
that Golden West game.
It's going to be a good one at the end of the season. And so in that first half of play, I love PA people, because you think you know what they're saying, but then again, you're not quite sure. So in this first half of play, Fullerton's up 28-21. 73 yards rushing to El Camino's 97. 231 passing yards to 187 from Fullerton. This is like you said, Mark, this is the best the Fullerton quarterbacks have looked all season. This is the most confident they've looked and the most crisp they've looked all season in the first 4 games or 5 games. Fullerton has one interception thrown. One interception. 40-yard average on punts. 6 penalties for Fullerton, 39 yards. 5 for El Camino for 39 yards as well. Third down conversions. El Camino's got 50% conversion rate. That's good. They're 3 of 6. Fullerton, 33% conversion rate, 3 of 9. So that's something that Fullerton would like to work on. But the fourth down conversions, they're 2 for 2, where El Camino is 0 for 1. In the red zone, Fullerton is 2 of 3. El Camino is 1 of 2. Coaches always want to see 3 of 3, 2 of 2. Brandon Rankins, a 3.9 average in the first half, 31 yards on 8 carries, 1 touchdown. And I have to go back to the stats leaders of community college football, but I believe he leads the state in rushing touchdowns with 7. Stephen Bradford Jr., he also has a touchdown run, 10 carries, 80 yards. So he's there with his average. He averaged 6.8 yards per carry coming into this ball game. Chandler Galvin, 10 for 14, 146 yards. 2 touchdowns, and that long pass play was 71 yards, not 68 yards.
Wow.
And that's the longest, and that was to Christopher Kuntz. Trey Edwards, 5 of 7, 41 yards in that first half with that 1 rushing touchdown. Braden Huffman, Kashawn Griffin, 3 catches each, 49 yards and 15 yards respectively. I just want everybody here, the all-decade team for El Camino as well. Braden Huffman with 1 touchdown reception. Christopher Kuntz, 2 receptions, 75 yards, 1 touchdown. That's a pretty good average for tonight on 2 catches.
Yeah, exactly.
Bobby Palacios had 2 punts for 40 yards, 40 and a half yards. And Cesar Velasquez, last week's Special Teams Player of the Week, missed 1 field goal here today. And for El Camino, Dylan Guerra is 10 of 11, 192 yards. You mentioned that passing game in the second quarter with Makai Jordan in the first quarter, 3 of 8 with 1 interception. Only 39 yards, but Dylan Guerra comes in, misses on 1 pass only, 192 yards, but those 2 touchdowns are key. He's really brought them back into the ball game. Stephen Bradford Jr. kept them there, hovering. Dylan Guerra put him into the ball game. And Damani Sanchez, it seems like he has all the catches tonight.
It does. It seems like he should have like 188 yards in the first half.
Yeah, there's been 13 completions, and it seems like he's been caught 11 of them, but it's only 5 completions, or receptions, I should say, for 117 yards, and that 1 touchdown. The long play was 60 yards. So leading the way in tackles for the Hornets, Donovan Smith with 6, Jalen Early with 5, Chandler Brown with 4, and O'Shea Davis with 3. For the Warriors, Lando Brown with 5, Michael Gamage, Kekoa Carroll, and Justin Sanchez with 4 tackles each. Lando Brown has 1 tackle for loss, and Jalen Early has 1 tackle for loss for the Hornets.
And Corey, really, when you think about this game, with it only being a 7-point game, give it to both offensive sides in this game, because they've outthought the other individual. I mean, Brian Crooks brings the all-out blitz. Gura stands there and finds Sanchez all by himself in the middle of the field. Yeah. You know, I mean, people would say they're broken plays, but it's been the offense has outthought the defense in tonight's game so far.
Yeah, that play wasn't a broken play by the offense or the defense. That was a play that was well executed by the offense to combat. It looks like they're going to bring the pressure. So let's put this play call on, because the tide was turning on that drive. And realistically, the Hornets needed something to do to create a turnover, create havoc, or have a negative play by the Warriors. And they read it perfectly. And if you get beat like that, I don't think you're going to be too upset by a defensive coordinator if you get beat on that play, because they just called the right play against your strategy.
You keep talking about this group. The last few years, you always keep bringing them up, is that offensive line. We talked about this offensive line against College of the Canyons, and then we saw the offensive line the following week against Allen Hancock, and then you see him tonight. So from an observer's point of view, do you keep seeing this offensive line for the Hornets getting better each week, or are they a slow work towards the end of the season?
No, I think they get better each week, as you can see with the passing. I mean, last week they ran the ball well against Allen Hancock. The offensive line was doing that. Today it's passing, pass protection, executing perfectly. As we're going to step away for just one moment and come back to you in 2.
Okay, so Corey Neyland's going to walk away from me here on sportsnetusa.net, where we're at halftime with the Hornets are up 28-21 right now.
And we're back on Fullerton College football on sportsnetusa.net. Corey Neyland and Mark Pavlovich enjoying an entertaining first half. Mark, and yeah, it's entertaining.
It's entertaining to say the least. Corey Neyland, you know what I'd love to talk about if we get a chance here is we brought up something in the first half, and it's something because I'm an old guy. I remember Old South football. I remember people running it down people's throats. We can go all the way back to the USA games that aren't that far back when we had people like Reggie Bush in the backfield running the football. The running game has gone away from collegiate football. You know, Herschel Walker, one of your all-time favorite football players, and maybe the best collegiate player out there, Eric Dickerson, for those that are Ram fans. Can remember him, should remember him when I've already brought up the Pony Express and what he did. But it's gone away. Nobody wants that college runner that's got 2,000 yards anymore.
Not unless you go to Army or Navy or Air Force. I mean,
or Wisconsin.
And even Wisconsin is moving away from that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, unless you're those teams. I mean, the traditional running back in college football is different. Fullerton is, and I'm going to use Fullerton as an example of a team that's lucky to cultivate all-purpose guys.
Okay.
Last couple years, Fullerton College, Gerald Hewlett, I'm going to use him as an example for the last few years. Here's a guy who can run the ball, catch the ball out of the backfield, pass. We've seen him throw the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
During his time at Fullerton. So he's all-purpose, but he's not a guy who's going to say, okay, It's not Kelvin York, who for 10 games goes over 100 yards each game and was a dominant fixture in the backfield and a dominant runner. So you can go back to 2010 and say it's changed. Ryan Bird and Lavorie Johnson for Fullerton might be the best running backs duo in Fullerton College history on the same team. Now, what I'd like to have is those Fullerton College past players comment on that. Who's the best running back duo of all time? Because we've seen some great ones.
We have, yeah. We've been very lucky.
Yeah, and in the 70s you saw Mike Charles, and in the 80s you saw Andrew Greer and Drew Greer and Andrew. I just said his name. I'm sorry, and I'm forgetting his name. Yeah, we don't have that much time for me to think of it. And it just completely slipped my mind because they were one after the other. But again, the game has changed. You've seen the proliferation of 7-on-7 schemes.
Yeah.
7-on-7 mindsets for coaches and players. How do you feel when a quarterback can't even take a snap underneath center?
Oh, that drives me nuts. That drives me nuts when all a quarterback can do is take it in the shotgun formation, that they can't walk up. I miss the days of the great fakes by quarterbacks, that they take it off, they fake it to the up back, and then they fake it to the back, coming out of the backfield behind that up back and taking off, and then standing back there for a second, and then looking for somebody open. It was that sleight of hand that all of a sudden somebody's running down the field and you didn't even know they had the football.
Yeah, I miss the days of Marshall Faulk. I miss the days of Kenny Turner running in the backfield with a well-rounded passing game when you had receivers alongside with Marquise Avery and Kenny Turner, Joe Chapman, but Kenny Turner, in the backfield. But you miss those running games. I don't mind seeing a guy carrying the ball 20 times, gaining 120 yards. That's still football, still going to get you points, still going to get you positivity. Just because you're throwing the ball all the time doesn't make it better.
No, and I mean, we used to give nicknames. I mean, when Ludicrous Speed used to play for us, you talked about Lavorie, he was out here. I mean, there was nothing more exciting than watching him. And Corey, how many times did we just get excited because it was one more step and they were gone?
Yeah.
But somebody grabbed their ankle and we'd all flinch up in the booth. Ryan Osborne was with us some of those times where we would flinch. It was the excitement of knowing they could break it at any time. And I tell you, yeah, beautiful passes are fantastic, but there is nothing more dynamic than watching a great block by the offensive line, a guy slithering through the hole, and then next thing, he's gone. You brought up Marshall Faulk when he played the game. I mean, yeah, he could catch the football, but he could run with the football. And there were things where you would just watch him get through on a tackle play, and he'd get through, get past the linebackers, you'd kiss him goodbye.
Yeah, and he's reminiscent of Damon Sweezy, who ran for Fullerton back in the 80s. I mean, he might be the most dynamic back you've ever seen out of a Fullerton College uniform.
Yeah. Hey, for any of you old guys that are listening, if you want to disagree with Corey and I mean the alumni.
Oh, yeah.
The ones that wear those championship rings. That 65 team that's coming back.
I'm not going to say disagree. Just comment with your opinion. Comment on educating the Fullerton College faithful.
Okay, all right. And tell us who you might have thought in all your years, because I know a lot of the alumni out there follow all the teams. Corey and I'd still love to have you tell us who you would pick as your I'll give it to you this way. I'll be even nicer. Give me your 11 starters on offense and give me your 11 starters on defense. If you can't give me the offensive line or the defensive line, that's cool, but give me somebody there.
Yeah, we did that a few years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, and I do like what El Camino's done as they break it down by decade by decade. It would be interesting how Fullerton College would work that, because you like to see ideas, and not because it's taking from one school to another. It's the promotion of community college football. I think community college football is disrespected.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So the more you can get the promotion of it, the glorification of community college football, meaning this is real deal football, it's better for all, because you come to realize that, and we can have another Friday Night Mike's session. There are some things out there that could make this a whole lot better than it already is, I should say.
You know who I miss? Tom Duff. Tom Duff. Because Corey Neyland and I, and all the years we've done this, Tom Duff would come in to visit us. And for those that are alumni, they know who Tom Duff was. Sit in the booth with us, and we talk about some of the people we played, and Tom Duff would go, no, let me tell you who the best was at this. And he would go back in the history books and tell us all the great players that he had seen at Fullerton College. And I tell you what, there's nothing more exciting than talk about those who have come through community college football. Names that you would just, if you went to look at the Hall of Fame and the CCCAA, and you went through those names, the coaches that you find there that have gone to all the different levels, the players that you find there that have gone to different levels, and you go, I didn't know so-and-so played community college sports. You know, we've done this with Perry Webster when we've taught community college basketball. My partner, who is a basketball fanatic, and Corey Neyland will say, there was a time community college basketball, oh, boy, howdy, the greats you would get that just needed to take that year to community college, or back then, a junior college, and they ended up playing their sports. It's the same with community college football. And we have really had the pleasure over the years watching teams play. It's just like last week, Corey and I were watching a game, and Corey said, you do remember this young man last week when we were watching the game, and I'm trying to remember which one, and you said, you do remember when he was quarterback at. And I looked at you and I said, wait a minute, he played for, did you tell me he played for Mark down south? Was that where he was quarterback last week when we watched the game? We were watching one of the games last week when we went for dinner afterwards, and you said to me, we were sitting there at the restaurant we normally go to for a home game, and we were watching a football game, and you said, you do know that he played for, and I can't remember which community college you told me. I don't know if it was somebody south of us or if he had played for College of the Canyons at quarterback, but he was their starting quarterback last week. Nevertheless, that just shows you the quality of stars that you get in community. Corey's going to remember it by the fourth quarter. And if Ryan Osborne was here, he'd be naming off people right and left that played community college sports. If you get a chance, come on out and visit us at Chappelle Stadium. And our booth is always open. You know, if you want to say, hey, can I talk to you two wackadoos on the air?
COVID restrictions.
Yeah, with COVID restrictions. Corey and I will, make sure that we'll take that long XLR. So
our booth is always open, but you can't come in.
But that's what's great about community college sports. Next week is bye week for Fullerton College, so there will be no Fullerton College football next week here on sports8usa.net.
Next game will be at Chappelle Stadium October 14th.
That's a Thursday, isn't it?
Yes, it is, versus San Bernardino.
So there you go. Thursday night, you got nothing to do. Who cares about pro football?
We know you got nothing to do, so go ahead and tune in.
That's right. Or come on down and visit us at Chappelle Stadium and see some of the most exciting football around. Community college football here on Sportsnet, USA.net. We head for the second half. The Hornets are up by 7. It's the Hornets 28, the Warriors 21 on Sportsnet, USA.net. Taking it to 30. Looking for an opening. Side steps, back steps. Finally taken down at the 28-yard line.
And that was Chance Nolan over at Oregon State.
Is that who that was?
Who went to Saddleback.
Okay. Don't forget, all our games are brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Looking for that newer used car? Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Here on Sportsnet, USA.net. First down and 10 at the 29-yard line. The Warriors only down by 7. Nice little, once again, go back to the running play, and that's Bradford Jordan Jr. So Bradford Jr. has had a good game tonight, Corey.
Yeah, and it's just a zone blocking scheme.
Guerra back in at quarterback. Keeps it himself. Sidesteps. Nice little side move. Garrett gets a first down on that play. So they come out with a running attack and immediately pick up 20 yards on 2 plays.
And that's a jump cut used by Guerra and gets past Junior Wiley.
Stephen Bradford Jr. stays in the backfield. Guerra goes back, and that time can't get rid of the ball and gets sacked on the play.
And that's Troy Mcdonald from his left end position. That's 3.5 sacks on the season now for McDonald. I think I'm one behind, but we'll call him 3.5 now.
Sanchez out far to the right. Now back at quarterback, and they did this earlier. Guerra comes out. They run a wildcat formation.
And we were talking, Mark, about the cutback that the player could do on the offensive side to get past the tackler. You saw the angle he was taking. He tried to cut back, but it allowed a Junior Wiley to catch up and Jonathan Smith to catch up and make the stop.
So Moore runs a wildcat. Guerra goes out far. Now Moore throws it back to Guerra. Throws it a lateral. Guerra throws it downfield. The Hornets are not fooled on a trick play. So, Corey, what they do is they put Guerra all the way out to the far side of the field. They throw a backward pass to Guerra. Guerra then looks for Sanchez in the middle of the field. 4 defensive players for the Hornets waiting for Sanchez to come down with the ball. Keshawn Griffin back deep. He'll stand right at the 18-yard line. 4th down and 12. Right at the 45. Here comes a rush off the side of the foot. Keshawn late signal for a fair catch, and he's going to get it right at the 18-yard line. So with 13:04 to go, a little chicanery, a little Halloween feel, a little Magic Man out there for the Warriors. We'll see how the Hornets counter that here on SportsNetUSA.net.
And we'll try to bring up some other scores.
Huffman comes to the near side of the field. Byers at the far side of the field. Galban looks to throw. Here comes the pass. He's getting hit. Has to get rid of it. Throws it out of bounds. Incomplete pass. So Huffman once again comes to the near side of the field. Galban at quarterback. Brandon Rankin at running back. Looks over the sideline. Rankin goes from right to left in the formation. So strong side comes to the near side of the field. Galban goes back, finds Rankin. Rankin all by himself, catches at 20, cuts up the field. We're going to get a flag on the backside of the field, and I've got to wonder if Huffman is going to get flagged for an illegal block in the back.
He is. And Brandon Rankins did a nice job out of the backfield making that catch, and it's amazing he can make that catch as smoothly as he did with that cast on his left arm. But again, they're going to get Fullerton with the push in the back by Brandon Huffman. That's going to negate a first down and a gain of 15 yards. Golden West is 4-1. So they call Christopher Kuntz with the block in the back.
Well, I guess there were 2 of them on that play, wasn't there?
No, there was one. It was Huffman.
We saw the correct call.
Yes.
Byers at the far side of the field. In the slot next to him is Mike McCray. Kuntz stays at the far side of the field. Huffman to the near side of the field. 2nd down and 4. Throw it quickly. Taken there. They're going to mark him at a little short, or they're going to give it to him?
First
They're
down.
going to give a first down. So Kuntz gets the first down.
Christopher did what a wide receiver is supposed to do.
Go to the stick, stop.
You run 5 yards, turn around, you get a 4-yard gain, first down.
First down and 10 for the Hornets. Galban goes back, looks across the middle of the field. It's a foot race, and you just can't get underneath the ball. Trying to get it to Mike McCray.
McCray was looking back and looking up and looking back and leaning all the way, so that by the time the ball gets there, he was parallel to the ground and just fell.
Huffman goes to the far side of the field. Kuntz comes to the near side of the field. And outside of him on the near side of the field is going to be Jordan Smith. 2nd down and 10. Right at the 30. Galban feels the pressure coming. Flings it quickly. Quick little release from Galban. First down for the Hornets right across the 40-yard line. And you really do like that one taken there out of the air by Coy Thomas.
Coy went big. He's 6'1", went 6'5" on that catch as he presented a big target, boxed out the defender, and makes the catch.
First down and 10 at the 43. They look like they're going to come after Galban again. He's feeling comfortable in the backfield. He's getting the pickup. Throws it out in the flat, taken there. And Corey, I've got to tell you, who am I watching right there? I was watching Brandon Rankins pick up the block on the blitz. I'm not even watching the throw. You love a back who's willing to sacrifice for his quarterback, and that's what Brandon Rankins does. Gets a gain of 7 on the play, 2nd down and 3. Right at the 50, the Hornets are on the move. Galban keeps it himself. Gets to the 50, maybe a gain of a half a yard with 11:37 to go here in the second
Aaron
half.
House makes the stop on the play, and like Keenan Gardner said, if you're not blocking, you ain't playing.
That's it. That's what he's told us. Near side of the field, Christopher Kuntz. Now they've switched things over. So Griffin is in the slot. Outside of him on the shoulder is Coy Thomas. You go the other direction, Kuntz is in the slot on the other side. Galban at quarterback. Goes back, throws a flat. Taken out of the air, and I tell you what, they have found a nice little person in Jordan Smith catching the ball over there. Great set of hands so far in this game.
And it's a nice offensive game plan by Garrett Campbell and Coach Griffin over there, because James Griffin and Garrett Campbell are taking what the defense is giving them and taking their shots down the field when they can.
Look back over. Smith on the far side of the field. Caught the last pass for a first down. Flip it over again to the far side of the field. Gain of another 4 yards on the play. Corey, it's like you said, it's hunt and peck right now. Give me 4, I'll take the 4.
Yeah, defense is overloading and playing very aggressively against the run. So Brandon Rankin hasn't had that much daylight. So what they're doing is nickel and diming them. If you don't like that, then oh well. 5 yards, you get your 5 yards.
Wait a minute. Is that number 4 you just gave me? Nickel and diming him? Cliche?
No, that's not a cliche.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Okay. Because that would be 4.
That would be 4.
Brandon Rankin says, give me 4. Corey, I'll give you 6. As Rankin goes straight up. Dive play off a left tackle, and those are the holes that I like this offensive line opening.
Yeah.
Enough for him to squeeze through. He's going to get you 4.
Every single time.
3rd down, 2. Brandon Rankins goes to the far side of the field. Strength on that side. Galban keeps it himself. Slithers for a first down, just short or right at the 35.
No, he dove, and then he gets that first down. And he's looking really confident on the field in that quarterback position, Mark.
Coy Thomas, Gashawn Griffin, near side of the field. Galban looks to the left, looks for Kashawn, can't get it to him, just overshoots him just a little. So Griffin runs down the slot, looks for the ball just a little beyond his reach. Good coverage by the Warriors. Going to be 2nd down and 10 right at the 35. Huffman now comes to the far side of the field. Griffin walks off the field. Byers on the far side of the field. Huffman on the near side of the field. Blackman at running back. And I thought that was Blackman, but that is not Blackman. That was Tyrell Green Jr. So.
And it's just another stretch play. That's the play that Ryan Black ran on his first carry last week to score a touchdown. And on this play, they pick up a positive 9.
So Green stays in there. Straight dive play with Green. That's going to move the chains.
And another impressive drive for the Hornets. A substantial drive, which started at the 20-yard line as they're moving right to left.
It is methodical, and it's got a very nice rhythm going on when you look at the methodical rhythm of this. They double stack on the far side of the field. Galban looks in that direction, throws back to the other side of the field. Huffman, touchdown. Oh, I jinxed him.
And he drops it as he goes down to the ground. He brings in the catch. And as he's falling to the ground, his knees come up into his shoulders and pops the ball out because it was a post corner route that fooled the defender. He was wide open as Galban rolled to the right side as they're moving right to left. Huffman on the near side does a post corner, wide open, dropped it. That's not going to happen many more times for Huffman.
I think I startled him when I yelled touchdown.
Well, he could hear you.
Yeah, 2nd down and 10 for the Hornets. Galban says, well, we'll give it to Green. He'll go around the left, running hard.
That's a hard run to pick up, get back to the line of scrimmage.
So it's going to bring up a 3rd down with 9 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter and in the lead by 7. 3rd down and 9. Galban looks things over. Here they come with the blitz. They bring all out pressure. He's got to set his feet. He doesn't set his feet, and he throws it away, feeling the pressure. That's going to bring up a 4th down. Good defense by the Warriors, and I love the fact that when they had the pressure on him, Corey, the defender doesn't leave his feet. He chases Galban, who was determined to throw the football.
Yeah, David Ucado, again, doesn't get chopped down by the block of the back, and he makes a play, forces a throw out of bounds. And Cesar Velasquez 0 for 1 today, looking to make it 0 for 2 from field goals from 40.
Near side of the hash marks. Spotted at the 30. You add 10, like Corey said, and makes it a 40-yard attempt. Ball is set. Kick is up. And it is no good.
His second kick missed to the left.
So with 8:51 to go here in the 3rd quarter, it's the Hornets 28, the Warriors 21 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Looking for that new Toyota? Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Looking for that place to take your Toyota to? Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Miller Toyota of Anaheim is a proud sponsor of community college sports, education, and most of all, SportsNetUSA.net. I was going to say most of all education at the end, but what the heck? We'll give it to us. Garrett comes in at quarterback. Taken down at the 25. And really what you've got to say about that run there, Stephen Brandon Jr., another one that I love the way this young man runs, Corey, because everybody laughs when you say they run hard, but he takes the impact to the defender, not the defender taking it to him. Get a flag on the play, so we stop the clock with 8:27 to go. Illegal procedure against the Warriors. We're going to move them back 5 yards. Makes it a 2nd down and 13 right outside the 20 here in the 3rd quarter. The Hornets holding on to a 7-point lead. Guerra Looks up. Straight dive play. Defense playing straight up against the run.
And Jesse Bediako makes the tackle. Again, the linebackers nowhere to be found on that run. A little bit hesitant now because Bradford Jr. has run the ball so effectively.
Bradford in the backfield. Braden Jordan next to him in the backfield. So Jordan and Bradford in the backfield with Gura. Gura has nobody grab him. Goes to the left, goes to the right, then goes down, and the defense has been swarming today. And in doing that, they get him to go sideways. Only a gain of 3 short of the 30. It's going to bring up a 4th down for the Warriors here in the third quarter with the Hornets leading by 7, 28-21 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. We get a timeout on the field, an injured player.
And what happened is the Hornet is down on the field, but his own player came and tried to hit Guerra with him on top. So he came down. I don't know if it was a head shot or a back shot, but again, can't see the number right now. As he's now sitting up, it looks like he is a little bit woozy.
You know, if you're woozy every once in a while, that's when you go to a car lot and you just don't like what they do to you. They tell you to buy this car, that car, the other car, and you get woozy being a buyer. You go to Miller Toyota of Anaheim, that never happens to you. Why? Because you walk in there, you're going to find the best prices, the best deals, the best customer service in Orange County. So next time you're out shopping for a car, stop at Euclid and the 91. Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Miller Toyota of Anaheim is a proud sponsor of community college sports, but most of all, education. That's Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Sean Griffin at the 38. He just looked up at me and said, Mark, you know what? I'm going to run one back one of these nights. This is a good time to do it.
That's no prediction. Of course, one of these nights, but you got to say if he's going to do it now or not.
Jumps through the hoop, doesn't get too far as the line tamer reels him in, and he's down at the 38-yard line.
Mark was going to wait till he ran it back, say, yep.
I was going to wait till he was 5 yards from the end zone and say, I think he's going to make it this time. 6:55 to go in an exciting community college football game here on sports@usa.net. El Camino College, Murdock Stadium, great-looking stadium, artificial turf. Big turnout tonight for community college football.
Let's see if the Hornets can expand or extend, I should say, this 28-21 lead.
First down and 10. Hand off to Brandon Rankin. Starts, stops, and then goes again. And Corey, he drags the mayhem with him and gets a first down. So Brandon Rankin's on his way to another good night running the football. Get a little ball moving on the field, so we're going to get a player down.
Shaken up Warrior out there on the field. Ellington Walls, the cornerback. No, is that Ellington or is that? Yes, it is. Ellington Walls. Great name.
Coons, Huffman to the near side of the field. First down and 10 at the 50. Brandon Rankin in the backfield. They hand it off to him again. He cuts the outside. He turns the corner almost, and Corey Neyland, you figured if he doesn't have that tackle made, nobody's going to stop him on that turn. Gain of 7 on the play.
Devin Jarvis makes a first down saving tackle.
Second down. They hand it off to Brandon Rankins. Everybody thought they knew. Ball comes out.
And Rankins was hit a couple times, and it looks like he got wrapped up down below, got hit up top.
And it's still a Hornet ball, so they're looking at the defenders that ran off the field and said, hey, he had the ball. He's down. He didn't lose it. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and a long 6 for the Hornets. Charles Byers comes out the near side of the field. He's been quiet tonight for this Hornet team. Galban sees the rush coming, waits for it, tries to hear what he's got going on. They move Tyrell Green Jr. to the other side of the formation. Galban's got 16 on the clock, can take his time. Here comes the pressure. Across the middle. Caught there, taken at the 22. And Mr. Huffman, the sure-handed Mr. Huffman, gets a 1st down for the Hornets.
But the play made by Chandler Galban for staying in the pocket as Lando Brown was bearing in on him and was going to take a hit no matter what, delivers a strike.
Galban looks the other side of the field, throws to the wrong shoulder, trying to get it to Mike McCray. Mike McCray turns to the inside, then turns back to the outside. A little miscommunication. It's going to bring 2nd down and 10. 5:40 to go. Keshawn Griffin comes back in the game. He'll be on the near side of the field. They look over for the sideline. Green back in at running back. Coy Thomas in the near side of the field. Griffin in the slot inside of him. Kuntz in the slot on the far side of the field. Now Keshawn goes in motion from right to left. Galban gets swallowed up on the play.
Justin Sanchez, again, a perfect middle linebacker blitz. So his Mike linebacker comes straight up as soon as the ball is snapped. He was in the backfield and at Galban at the same time the ball met him.
So we get whistles. So there was a flag on the play. Hornets would have been a 5-yard mark off, but because Galban got sacked, they will take the play. It's 3rd down and a long 21.
Let's see if the Hornets go for it here. Let's see if they go down the field to try to pick up about 12 to 15 yards and go for it on 4th down.
Galban in the backfield. Griffin goes in motion from left to right. Galban has time, steps up to the far side of the field. Good defense on it as Coy Thomas turns around for the ball and is knocked out of bounds. So it brings up a 4th down and 21. Galban waits for fresh receivers. Huffman comes back in the game. Byers comes back in the game. So Huffman to the near side of the field. Byers to the far side of the field. Mike McCray in the slot next to him on the far side with Kuntz next to him. Huffman by himself to the near side of the field. See what Galban wants to do. We get a false start against the Hornets. Oh, so the Hornets call timeout. Motion on the offensive line, no flag. And so with 5:05 to go here in the 3rd quarter, it's the Hornets 21, the Hornets 28, the Warriors 21 on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Here's where you have to go for it. It's 4th down and 21. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. If you punt the ball away, it's either going to be a touchback at the 20 or, fair catch at the 20 or 10-yard line. I'd go for it. Even if you only pick up 17 yards, that's just as good as a punt. Other people will say, well, what if you don't get it and it's an incomplete pass? I don't care. Have your defense step up and make a play. Game of the day in the north, San Mateo 32, Modesto 7. So that was earlier today. Mount San Jacinto, Casey Mazzota's got his squad at 3-1 mark, 56-26. And if you're wondering who Casey Mazzota is, head coach of Mount San Jacinto, go ahead and go to sportsnetusa.net and go ahead and go back and watch the interview on the show on sportsnetusa.net with Casey Mazzota during that 2020 downtime that we had.
4th down and 21. Griffin goes in motion from left to right. Here comes the pressure. Galban being chased. Throws in the corner. Knocked away, incomplete pass.
And you like the thought, you like the play call, and you had Devin Jarvis on coverage to break it up, but you like the play call. You like going for it in that situation. And another score mark on sportsnetusa.net at the start of the third quarter. LA Harbor 28, LA Valley 27.
Wow. Deion Moore to the far side of the field. Aaron McGee with him. Handed off straight up the middle. So it's going to be a loss of 4. So the defense for Brian Crook says, okay, offense, we'll pick you up. Don't worry about it. You tried. Didn't succeed. Aaron McGee comes to the near side of the field. Gura, quarterback. Looking to go through the middle. Rolls away. Here comes the pressure. Pulls it down. Throws it in traffic. And tries to go to Sanchez. Incomplete pass.
And good pressure by the Hornets. And we'll get you a few more scores, Mark, in just a few moments as Mott, McDonald, Hernandez, and Wallace up front. Hurtado, Early, and Vasquez, the backers. Left to right, Wright, Smith, Brown, and Davis.
Get some blocks. Gura can step up. It's going to step out of there. Gets taken down from behind, feeling the pressure. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10. And they're running basically a one-receiver route, Corey. They've got Sanchez going one-on-one and keeping everybody else at home right now. Now they're taking Sanchez out. It's 4th down.
Mark, it worked in the first half. 5 reception, 117 yards. Why not keep it going until they stop it? And Fullerton has stopped it as Jason Wallace gets another tackle tonight.
4th down, Kashawn Griffin comes in. He's going to stand at the 26 with 3:50 to go. This has been a quiet third quarter compared to the first half of the game. Points thrown up right and left. Now all of a sudden, the softness of nighttime has slowed everything down. Kashawn goes, wait a minute, I've got it. I'm going to get missed by the first one. I sidestep the second one. I straight arm the third one. I look for the corner on the 4th one and get run out of bounds right at the 24. So he did a little bit of everything. Didn't get taken down for a loss, but gets a gain of 5 and gets the Hornets decent field position to start this offensive charge here with 3:26 to go in the third quarter on sportsnetusa.net.
45 yards to get 5 yards is what he ran. Palomar 27-17 in the 4th over San Diego Mesa. Start of the third, San Bernardino Valley down 30 to Bakersfield, 38-8. Santa Ana 56, L.A. Pierce nothing. That's at halftime.
Trey Edwards back in a quarterback. Brandon Rankin straight up the middle. Stays on his feet, bounces off to gain of 6 on the play.
Antelope Valley 17-7 over Citrus, 4th quarter just starting. Canyons. Mark for real, 34-10, start of the 4th over Riverside.
Wow. Trey stays up his feet, gets across the 30. It brings up a workable 3rd down at the 30-yard line. 3rd and 3. For the Hornets, 2:52 to go. They're up by 7.
Chaffee 17-14 halftime lead over Southwestern. Ventura looking to stay undefeated, 24-10 over the Bobcats of Saddleback.
Huffman in the slot, near side of the field. They run it off to who else? Brandon Rankin. 1st down for the Hornets. So you can see Rankin slowly wearing down the Warriors. And Corey Neyland is keep waiting for one time when he hits that hole and nobody stops him. 1st down and 10 right at the 35. Trey tries to get him to jump. He doesn't. Rankin's a running back. Looks over the sideline. Clock ticks away. Hornets up by 7. 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Here they come. Try to get Brandon Rankins. Brandon Rankins runs over 2, stays on his feet. Fights his way for 2 more yards, another 10 yards on the carry. And Corey Neyland, he's got to be creeping closer and closer and closer to that century mark. No, What do you think? He's at about 58 right now?
He's about 60
Okay.
yards.
First down and 10. Trey throws it overshoots Kashawn Griffin as he faked it to Brandon Rankin, froze the end, and had an easy little pitch and catch, just overshoots it. Rankin comes out of the game. Back in, Ryan Black. So Ryan Black in the backfield. Kashawn Griffin comes to the near side of the field, will be in the slot. Coy Thomas outside of him on the near side of the field. Ryan Black, the running back. Second down and 10. Right at the 45. Trey's got time. Nobody's going to get him. Fakes it. Looks to get a block in the corner. He gets a block in the corner. And what a great read of a block where you don't have to throw a block on anybody.
And that was a great block because he read it. But the penalty, as there's a hanky on the ground, is going to be a blindside block on the receiver cracking back on a defenseless player, Mark. And that's one of the new rules we were discussing that's been implemented. And that's what the penalty is going to be on. So it's going to negate that 15-yard, well, it's going to keep the first down. So they're going to say repeat second down. So he didn't get the first down, I guess. And so it backs it up 15 yards. I thought he got the first down.
I thought he got the first down too.
And I thought it was at the point of the foul.
I thought he went beyond the sticks because he really did get a nice block by Jordan Smith, who just stood in front of a defender.
Yeah. So that was the clean block.
So they move it back. It's going to bring up a second down and 17. You end up keeping Ryan Black in there as a running back. Kashawn Griffin goes to the far side of the field now. Coy Thomas outside of him on that side of the field. Kuntz comes in near side of the field. Second down and 17. Kashawn Griffin goes in motion. Here comes the pressure. And Trey Edwards is just no place to go, as they've been able to bring pressure up the middle every once in a while. And Corey, you talk about the linebackers. The linebackers have been exemplary for the Warriors in this game.
Yeah, that's Sanchez's first sack. His second tackle for loss by himself.
Third down and 22 for the Hornets, right at the 35. We're at the 1 minute mark. Here in the third quarter, the Hornets holding on to a slim 7-point lead over the Warriors. Trey. Here they come again against Trey. Trey sort of keeps it himself. Goes nowhere. And that's a lot further than I thought he was going to go.
Again, getting the pressure and putting the pressure on Fullerton to make a play. The defensive coordinator for the El Camino Warriors doing a nice job in this second half of keeping the Hornets under constant pressure.
Bryant Williams back deep for the Warriors. 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. We're going to have a raucous fourth quarter here at Murdock Stadium on sportsnetUSA.net. Here comes the pressure. Kick gets off, side of the foot. Williams gets his team to move away. The ball's going to just slither slowly and sleepily at the 40-yard line.
And I like how you said a raucous fourth quarter it's going to be, because that's kind of apropos, raucous underground hip-hop.
There we go.
Community college football, underground football coming up. Not much respect, but still some of the best you'll ever see.
And, again, the officials are talking, Corey, so we'll see where this flag gets on the far side of the field.
Extracurricular activity during the play. There was 2 takedowns by each player, 1 Warrior, 1 Hornet.
During the return, holding 26 at the return team. With a 10-yard penalty, foul. First down.
So they get the 2-point takedown instead of the 1-point takedown.
And that's going to move them back just a little. So now Guerra once again goes to the far side of the field. Dion Moore is in the Wildcat position. Moore's back behind the center. They've done this more than once. Moore goes back, takes it down himself, runs down the field, and gets a gain of 10 on the play.
Mark, you wanted to keep it old school today. So it's not the Wildcat formation. It's a single A. Okay, so you're going to say single A, old school position, since you wanted to keep it old school tonight.
I do. Speaking of old school, well, this old school has run out of time here in the third quarter. As we head to the fourth quarter, it's the Hornets 28, the Warriors 21 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. We always want to thank Miller Toyota of Anaheim for making all these games possible. They made the game earlier today for Golden West College possible here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Some of the finest cars, some of the finest people, some of the finest deals you'll ever find in Orange County are because of Miller Toyota of Anaheim. So next time you're out driving around and you think you want to look at that new car, pull on in to Euclid in the 91. Tell them that Sportsnet, USA.net sent you. And they'll say, hey, what are you looking for? New or used car? Whatever it may be, it'll be the best deal you can find in Southern California.
Also
Miller Toyota of Anaheim is a proud sponsor of community college sports, but most of all, education. That's Miller Toyota of Anaheim.
Well-read play by Fullerton. Troy Mcdonald with the chase down for no gain. I also want to thank Joe Pavlenko for the help today. Couldn't have done it without you, Joe.
Get a flag against the Hornet. Guerra knows it's a free play. Goes up the middle of the field. There in the hands, taken down. And they're going to call it out of bounds. Corey, I thought for a second Sanchez got a foot down. Again, one-on-one. Corey, that battle has been pretty interesting because it's been going on all day long.
Yeah, and it's just been Sanchez has gotten the better.
That's that free play we talked about. But go back to Sanchez.
Of O'Shea Davis, because Davis has been blanketing him. I mean, it hasn't been poor coverage. It's been excellent coverage by Davis. Thing is, Sanchez has been making the plays and making those catches. And as a sign of respect, you saw both guys clap hands right after the play. Say, good job, man. Good job, man.
Stephen Bradford Jr. now, the running back, who's had an excellent game against these Hornets. 2nd down and 5. They hand it off to Bradford Jr. He gets a great cut. Thought he had a hole, and the defense sneaks behind the offensive pulling lineman and makes the tackle for a small gain.
Nick Hurtado makes the stop, his 4th tackle of today. But again, good patience by Bradford. And you can see the burst he has. As soon as the hole opened up, he burst through it, but Hurtado was there.
3rd down and 5. Guerra says, let's go up. Push and shove. Picked off right there.
Jordan Wright with the interception. Great play as he turned into the receiver, not the defensive back.
So Dion Moore is going down, Corey, and we're going to get a flag on the play.
So that's going to be a push in the back on the run back. So Jordan Wright with the interception. And it's not a free play, Mark, because Fullerton didn't get into the neutral zone. So
and you really looked at Dion Moore. It was once again one of those, I'm sending out one receiver and looking at that one defender and telling them to make a play, which happened for the Hornets.
Yeah. And Jordan Wright gets his first interception of the season, I believe.
Holding 29 of the defense. That'll be a 10-yard penalty, spot foul. 1st down, Fullerton.
So another turnover by the Warriors. The Hornets now up by 7, wanting to increase their lead. We'll see what sort of attack they come with now with 13:55 to go here in the 4th quarter. I'd love to see them continue the running attack.
And you got to wonder if Chandler Galvin was a little nicked up on that last run play when he picked up that 1st down and when they brought it back, because he hasn't been seen since mid-possession. Change out by Trey Edwards. And into the ball game for the Hornets, going to be Craig Michael Rush.
Brandon Rankin, the running back. Edward, the quarterback. First down and 10. They hand it off to Trey. Trey gets across the line of scrimmage. Gain of 3 on the play.
And that's an outstanding play. I mean, an outstanding play by Aaron House. Because Trey Edwards had a step. House negated that quickly.
Jordan Smith out to the far side of the field. Trey goes back, looks to the other side of the field, throws it low, incomplete pass to Kashawn Griffin.
And the Fullerton rhythm in this second half, I mean, they had good rhythm in the first half with their offense, but now it seems like they're struggling to get that back. Those out patterns that were there in the first half, not there. What they've had success in is passes over the middle and in between and underneath that zone.
Jordan Smith to the near side of the field. In the slot next to him is Kuntz on the near side of the field. That hasn't seen many. Griffin goes in motion. Here comes the pressure. Trey Edwards keeps on his feet. Throws it to Brandon Rankins, who comes out of the backfield. And Corey, for a big man, he can change direction and turn his body to catch that football and still keep running after he catches it.
Yeah, he has very nimble feet. And you talk about it for a strong guy out there, and he's a powerhouse. He turns and makes the catch, but while he's turning and making the catch, he's still moving and active, moving forward, progressing down the field. And when he turns, he picks up another 5 yards.
So he makes it all the way down to the 45-yard line. First down and 10 for the Hornets. So the Hornets on the move again. They hand it off to Brandon. Brandon turns the corner at the 45, short of the 50.
And I like the way Justin Sanchez plays, Mark. Justin Sanchez forces that once again to the outside. It's a little bit slow developing.
Going to mark it right at the 49-yard line. Tyrell Green Jr. now in at running back for the Hornets. Second down and 6, just short of the 50. Trey goes back, throws it. Files at running back coming out of there, and Corey, another running back in Tyrell Green Jr. that comes out, finds a soft spot.
And there's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct against Braden Huffman. And he's working against Davion McClinton. And both of them having a shoving match.
You know what I love about it? Huffman, he goes, What? Me? What? Me? Corey, he holds up his hands like a little kid caught with his hand in a cookie jar. Oh, Mom, I'm not eating these before dinner.
And that's when he gets a look. You know that look. The child please look. The Gabby Neyland look.
Ooh. Hey, Gabby Neyland look. He'd be over on the bench right now. So they made a first down. They get marked off. The unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. That's going to take them back to the 44. They keep the first down. It'll be first down and 10 at the 44. They lose the yardage on the play, but not the down that they made. Trey Edwards brings them back out. First down and 10. Trey keeps it himself. Starts, stops, looks for an offensive lineman to help him, and he gets 5 yards back on a nice run, with it being 12-12 going here in the fourth quarter.
So
Huffman comes out of the game.
Extend that 7-point lead as they're moving left to right down to our side of the field. Up 28-21. A beautiful night, Mark, for football. Thought it was going to get colder, but it's gorgeous.
Coy Thomas now to the near side of the field. Trey looking for Coy. Coy has the ball thrown behind him. Open on the play. If he hits him in stride, it's an easy first down for the Hornets right at the 35. Incomplete pass. Going to bring up a third down and 5 at the 50.
And, Mark, you see they were going back to the middle of the field to try to get that first down. And it was there. It just needs to be on target.
Tyrell Green stays in at running back. A big third down and 5 right at the 50-yard line. Trey Edwards at quarterback. Needs 5 to keep this drive going. Warriors look like they're going to come walk their linebackers up the line of scrimmage, bringing pressure. They hand it off to Green. The linebackers don't. Green stutter steps. It's where he steps out of bounds.
And they're going to give them the first down. So tough running by Tyrell Green. His first extended period of action in the season at running back, and he's producing.
Makes it all the way down to the 44 for a first down for the Hornets. Here comes the pressure. Trey can step up. Throws it behind the receiver one more time. And Corey, there's your indecisiveness that you've talked about, that you've seen with Trey every once in a while in a game.
He's just got to take off and run. I know he wants to make a play downfield, but more important is picking up that positive yardage, moving the chains, getting on the board to score. You take off running, you've got at least 7-8 yards before the first person is going to make contact.
Brandon Rankins comes back in at running back. Second down and 10. Right at the 43. Trey tries to get him to jump. They don't. Looks over the sidelines. 11 minutes, 30 seconds. Trey comes back up. One-on-one to the near side of the field. Brandon Rankins gets it. Gets hit at the line of scrimmage and gets stonewalled at the line of scrimmage.
Frisco Toete. Toete makes the tackle, and again, big play as Trey Edwards is exuding fluids out there.
Charles Byers on the far side of the field. Near side of the field is going to be Coy Thomas. He looks for Coy, throws it up, back shoulder, intercepted by the Warriors.
Excellent, Davion McClinton. Excellent interception. And the problem with that play, Mark, Trey Edwards was looking at Coy Thomas from the snap, and he was going there. There was no opportunity for anyone else. And McClinton ran that play and read it perfectly.
He makes the pick at the 25. So it'll be first down and 10 for the Warriors at the 25 on a back shoulder pass that was intercepted. And so the Warriors take the ball over. First down and 10 at the 25. They're trailing by 7 with 10:53 to go here in the fourth quarter. Guerra keeps it himself. Gets a 30. Gives a little step in, step out, picks up a gain of 12 all the way out to the 37-yard line.
And Gil Vasquez misread the play. He thought it was going to Bradford because Bradford's got over 100 yards rushing today. So he reads that and leaves his position. Guerra, again, I think you named your starting quarterback tonight.
This time they hand it off to Bradford. He goes to the far side, tries to cut up at tackle, gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll bring up a second down and 10 right at the 37-yard line.
So Guerra is doing a nice job tonight. He has been the guy. Last week they ran 5 quarterbacks. This week I think Guerra solidifies himself as a starter next week as well.
Here comes the all-out blitz. Guerra beat it last time. Block on the far side. They go to Sanchez. Sanchez gets another first down on the far side of the field.
That's just a weight room first down, Mark. He makes the catch at the line of scrimmage. With them squats he's been using and that bench press gets him that first down.
First down and 10 at the 50. The Warriors are on the move. They hand it off. Young man Bradford up the middle, stays on his feet, gain of 8. And so they're chewing up the yardage. They're moving the clock, and now they're within striking distance.
It was 28-14 at half. Fullerton with the lead. Now it's 28-21 with 9:40 in the fourth.
Straight dive play. And that young man continues to run up the middle of it. Stephen Bradford Jr. Corey, you said he averaged 6.8 yards a carry coming into the game. He's way above that tonight.
And Mark, here's where you miss that old school mentality where if you're in the backfield, you hit everybody in the backfield whether they have the ball or not.
Guerra runs a pitch play, and the pitch play goes no place. Corey Neyland, if you don't hit somebody, maybe you just grab a hold of them and drag them down. And that's exactly what they did on that play.
Elijah Mott does that. He has 1 interception already in the ball game. But again, that was just simply a great play.
Braden Jordan gets drugged down from behind. They fake it to Jordan. Guerra's going to step up, middle of the field, and throws it right there. And that's finally to Aaron McGee, who I've talked about all night long, one of their top receivers who's been quiet in this game.
Great line work by the Warriors. Allowed him to read progressions. Progression 1, not there. 2, not there. 2.5, not there. 3 is there, and that's McGee for the first.
And that takes it all the way down to the 23-yard line. So now the Warriors are knocking on the door at the 23. Guerra looks things over.
Last time they got in this situation, Brian Crooks came with an all-out blitz, burned him up the middle. We'll see here.
Sanchez to the far side of the field. Guerra says, I'm going to the near side of the field. Pushing back and forth. Touchdown, Warriors. As what do? Well, you throw it to Dion Moore, who's been that person running the ball from the backfield. Little shoving and pushing going down there, but Dion Moore gets in the end zone.
Good coverage by Jordan Wright. Better pass, better catch from Guerra to Moore.
So Dion Moore, with 8:23 to go, gets into the end zone, waiting for the point after to tie up this game. So 23 yards out, Guerra puts it right on the money, and we're one kick away from having a tie game. Ball is spotted. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So 8:23, and we're tied at 28 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, Mark Pavlovich, Gabby Neyland inside dancing and singing. Scott Giles sitting down at the end, giving me the I don't know look. Corey Neyland looking down there and saying, this is what football's all about, little kids having a great time, because that's what we should all be as little kids at a football game.
And now is the time when Kashawn Griffin needs a return for a touchdown, because the offense has been stagnant in this second half. They haven't scored in the second half. They haven't scored in the second half, right? It was 21-14.
No, they haven't scored.
Okay.
No, they haven't scored.
Just making sure. My brain has been stagnant also.
No. I kept waiting for him to, pop the bubble, and it hasn't happened.
I'm sorry, it's 28-21 in the first half.
Big hop. Griffin takes it on the assist, drops it all by himself. Says, wait a minute. I know what a blue jersey is, but I was hoping that it was Hornets. As he runs backwards. Started at the 20, spun, danced, went to the 18, spun again, danced, stopped, stopped one more time. And by the time he gets done, they mark him down at the 14-yard line. First down and 10 for the Hornets at the 14, who have not been able to move down the field in this half.
Galvin's back in the ball game now.
Brandon Rankin at running back. First down and 10. Just short of the 15-yard line. 85 yards to take the lead for the Hornets. Here comes the pressure. Throws quickly over to the flat. Nice little pitch and catch right there to Jordan Smith. Jordan Smith gets a first down. Smith was productive in that first half, but has become quiet in the second half. Move it all the way to the 27-yard line. Smith comes out to the right side of the field, the near side of the field to us. Brandon Rankin goes from left to right. He goes in motion. Galban goes back. Smith gets held in the backfield, and there's no flag on the play. And it was a blatant grab and turn, Corey. So it's a second down and 10. Galban looks back. Second down and 10 for the Hornets. Can't get in a rhythm. Can't find the opening. Need to get that big play that you had in that first half. They've just disappeared like smoke. Throw it over here to the corner. Almost picked off on a pass that floated and wasn't zipped.
Keith Morgan with the almost interception. And again, Mark, they're coming to the outside where they're most prolific work in that first half was coming in the middle of the field.
Huffman now comes into the game to the near side of the field. Huffman, quiet so far. Needs to come up. Brandon Rankins goes from left to right. Galban looks over, recalibrates his call. Blitz looks like it's coming from the outside in the middle. Here they come. Galban's going to get hit. He gets taken down on a blitz, and he is sacked by an aggressive defense. And we have seen that aggressive defense here in the second half by the Warriors at Murdock Stadium tonight.
Ishak Robinson again. Like you said, Mark, a dominant performance in this second half of getting into the backfield. And Fullerton, the adjustment on offense to combat that just hasn't been made. And on the defensive side of the ball, El Camino's doing what they want in the second half. But still, the game is still tied at 28.
Bryant Williams is back as it almost gets blocked, and the kicker has to short leg it. Fortunately gets a bounce and is going to roll out of bounds at the 45. So with 6:39 to go, the Warriors are making a move. The Hornets are trying to regroup. We'll see what happens with 6 minutes and 39 seconds and first down and 10. Right at the 46-yard line. Dion Moore comes back in. Guerra goes out as wide receiver. Moore gets it. Moore keeps it himself. Nobody wants to tackle him. He stays on his feet. Bounces the outside. Gives a little juke. Runs again. And he gets all the way down to the 27-yard line.
There a missed hold as Bryce Dunnick had a bead on Moore, but again, he was held, no call. Good gain by the Warriors.
Bradford takes it, comes around the corner. Nobody wants to tackle him. He finally gets forced out of bounds at the 15. And so if you look at the Warriors, they're already at the dance. They think they're prom queen. And I think everybody in the stadium has voted for them, except those on the other side of the field. And right now it looks like their votes are not counting. Guerra brings them out quickly. First down and 10, right at the 15-yard line. 2 runs down to the 15. Hand it off again. Turn the corner. Get down to the 14. But now it's Mr. Clock. Starts to involve himself in the game. Hornets with 2 timeouts left. The Warriors have all 3. Guerra brings them up. Second down and 9 at the 14. Hornets look like they come. Guerra backs off, recalibrates, looks for somebody there. Braden Jordan, the running back, looks to pick up a block. He does. Throw it over in the corner. Fight, up for the ball. Good little battle down there. No flag by the official. Great call by nothing going on because, Corey, both of them were fighting each other, not just for the ball. It brings up a 3rd down now to the Warriors.
Jordan right on the coverage, and again, good coverage by Mr. Wright. Jordan, starting quarterback since the start, 6 feet, 175 sophomore out of Collierville, Tennessee.
Sanchez to the far side of the field. We've seen Sanchez do something all night long. Aaron McGee finally got involved the last time. Here they come after Guerra. Guerra throws it. Same place. All alone. Touchdown, Warriors.
And again, a little hesitation by Moore at the beginning of the end zone at the goal line. Continues. Wright slips a little, and he can't recover in time. But all the credit in the world does not go to the receiver, does not go to the quarterback. Fullerton, again, came with an all-out blitz, and the offensive line picked everybody up. Allowed him to get to the back of the end zone to make that throw and make that catch. They're in the lead, looking to score 14 unanswered here in the second half.
Ball is spotted. The kick is up. And the kick is good. So with 5:25 to go, Corey Neyland, it's now the Warriors 35. The Hornets 28 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And when you look at as the game went on here in the second half, Fullerton, I'm going to say El Camino has gotten more confident in overall during this ball game. Fullerton has played well, pretty well in the second half. They just haven't played loose like they had in the first half. So without that looseness, they haven't scored on the offensive side of the ball. They've created on turnovers, but again, they haven't been playing loose, so that hesitancy gives up 14 points in the second half thus far, and that's the difference in this ball game.
So the Hornets trailing by 7 with 5:25 to go. Need to find some magic just to tie the game.
Let's see if they exploit the middle of the field again. In between the hash marks, during those seams, those post patterns worked well.
Kashan, this time maybe with a running start. Goes to go the outside. Finds an opening, stays on his feet, gets across the 25, maybe up to the 28. It'll be first down and 10. And Corey, when you see linebackers for the Warriors skipping onto the field, you already know that the Warriors think they have the upper hand against this offensive line and the offensive calling of the Fullerton College Hornets.
Well, in the second half, they do. And they made a concerted effort in the kicking game after that first initial kickoff return by Griffin to close holes, to make sure they hone in and make tackles to prevent any other long kickoff returns as Galvin comes back into the ball game.
Brandon Rankin is in at running back. First down and 10. Right across the 25 to the 27. Here comes the pressure. He's got it, middle of the field. Drops it right there. A crossing pattern to Kashawn Griffin, which somebody said, hey, if we exploit the middle of the field, maybe we're back in the game.
Injured Warrior on the ground at the 50-yard line.
So it'll be first down and 10 for the Hornets at the 50. The clock is stopped because someone is injured with 5:02 to go.
Michael Galnage, who has 5 tackles tonight, is the injured Warrior. As we look for more scores around the CCCAA. As we mentioned on SportsNetUSA.net, you watch Golden West beat Long Beach 37-20. They moved to 4-1. Let's see what's happening now. San Francisco beat Santa Rosa 42-7. And Butte loses to Fresno City 33-31. LA Valley over LA Harbor. 13:06 to play in the ball game, Mark. That's a barn burner. There's my fourth cliche.
There we go. First down and 10 at the 50. Griffin, near side of the field, in the slot. Next to him is going to be Coy Thomas. Everything looked like it started really off weird. Galban looking to run, stays on his feet, runs out of bounds at the 5.
That's the third.
At the 45.
The third false start of the game that was missed. San Diego Mesa has come all the way back against Palomar 31-27 with 57 seconds left in the game.
They mark him back at the 47, so it's going to be a gain of 3. Second down and 7 at the 43. 5 minutes to go in this game. Here they come. Galban feels the pressure, throws it short to Brandon Rankin, and they are now just eating up the offensive line for this Hornet team. It's third down and 7.
And look for a quick hitter, Mark, again in the middle. If they had a tight end, this is a good time for a little what you call a look-in play. Tight end raises up, just turns and looks after 3 yards. The ball is there. Let's see if they run something like that.
Third down and 7. Right at the 47. Clock is ticking. They're down by 7. Hornets need to find a play to get on the board, tie this game up. Delay of game.
So here's where, and it's funny, you speak of the 90s, Mark, and in years past for Fullerton College, here would be a wide receiver screen. Let's see if they have the athletes, if it is a wide receiver screen, to pick up that first down.
They sell out again. Galban has to find someone. He's going to pull it down. He throws over the flat. Taken there by Brandon Rankins, who catches it and gets a first down. He finds a soft spot. The ball is floated to him gently, and he pulls it in at the 40 to move the chain with 4:18 to go.
Yeah, Galban doesn't pull the trigger on a deep post, but again, the presence of mind to move out of the pocket, direct Rankins out into the flat to pick up that first down with 4:18 to play, down by 7.
Galban looks over the defense. They've been coming after him, Corey. Here they come again. He tries to roll away. He has time. Going down deep. There it is in the middle. Almost, and we get a flag.
Oh, my. Oh, see, oh, my. If they call this pass interference, Mark,
I'm trying to figure out which defender you'd be calling it on.
on who? Really?
Wow. Wow. If you're a Hornet fan, you're elated. You think that's a great call. If you're a Warrior fan, you're just going, wait a minute, smoke and mirrors. What happened here? You've been letting them play, Corey, touch and shove football all night long. Now you throw the flag. Thrown over the middle. Taken. Turn it to 10. Steps out. Doesn't get down to the end.
And that's
Corey,
DeJounte Thomas, Mark. First catch of the game. Again, a crossing route over the middle. Picks up positive yardage.
So it's first and goal at the 3. 4 minutes to go. Galban, Huffman far to the left. We're going to get timeout Fullerton.
El Camino. Good timeout by El Camino.
So can we go back? Because, I mean, I know we're Fullerton College Hornet announcers, and people know that. We've been here for years. But, Corey, you've been allowing receivers. I already said about it on the last touchdown. Hey, they were fighting in the end zone. No flag by the official. They were grabbing and clutching and pushing on each other. How all of a sudden do you change your officiating status so when there's a push or something at this stage of the game, you throw a flag?
You see it all the time in football, Mark. Late in the game, officials feel like they have to call something. And that's simply not the case. And it shouldn't be the case because that was, you know, Mark, that was simply excellent defense in my opinion because there was no way that was going to be completed unless Huffman made an outstanding grab because the safety, Devin Jarvis, read that all the way. He was there in front. Tremel Harrell, he was the one that gets called for the penalty. But again, he didn't hold Huffman or drag him down. He didn't have a fistful of jersey. It was a play that, interesting to say the least.
Yeah, it's a play that's happened all night and no flag has been thrown.
And
First and goal for the Hornets. At the 3, 4 minutes to go. The Warriors are up by 7. Brandon Rankins crows across, stays on his feet, and falls.
Just short.
So it's going to be at the half-inch line. It'll be second and goal.
And here's where you have to be careful. In the shotgun from the half-inch line, not able to take a snap under center.
Here come the linebackers. Straight up the middle. They knew who was going to get it. Nobody blocked anybody.
It wasn't a fact of nobody blocking anyone. It's just they read the play and knew what was coming. So they sold out on the second down from the 1-inch line. So with that sellout, they make a great play because there was no counter. So now Fullerton, backed up to the 5-yard line, has 2 plays to get into the end zone.
Big third down from the 5. Charles Byers to the near side of the field. Huffman to the far side of the field. Calban at quarterback. Brandon Rankin at running back. 2 plays to get into the end zone. They run an option play. They hand it off to Brandon Rankins, who gets knocked out of bounds short of the end zone. This is the game on this next play.
I know you have to go for a touchdown, Mark, and Fullerton needs a touchdown. And the way their defense has been playing, if their defense was playing solid tonight like they were playing last week, I would kick the field goal and hold my defense. But now you have to go for it here on 4th down. And let's see if they roll Galvin out to the right side and drag Kashawn Griffin or the far side wide receiver as they're moving left to right. As El Camino calls a timeout as the play clock was at 4. So it'll be an interesting call here, Mark, because you can't keep Galvin in the pocket, and you have to have him make a decisive decision. So with 2:45 to play in the ball game, El Camino 35, Fullerton 28 here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Well, it's an interesting community college year because people will look at schools and go, oh, they're not real. They're not real. And they're not real. All these not real teams are showing everybody else that, hey, your scheme, we've seen it 37 times. We know how to beat your schemes. Hey, we know what you used to do. And it's those teams that were, I don't know, are now the teams that everybody's going, I don't know. Are they the real deal or are they not the real deal? The way El Camino is played tonight, they are absolutely a quality program, and they are on the uptick when you think about what they've done so far this year.
And you got to love community college football because this is a good game between 2 good programs and 2 good teams, as Ryan Black is now the tailback. And if I'm El Camino, I'd sell out again, Mark. And there's the play as they rolled Galvin out to the right side. They had Griffin coming across as he went in motion. And there wasn't enough on the throw as Griffin outran. It looks like he outran the ball, and there was just nothing there. Tried to make an outstanding catch. The defensive back, who is, I couldn't see who the defensive, it looks like it was Guerra, but I don't think it was Guerra. My eyes are deceiving me. But again, he almost comes up with the tip. But again, good call, well-designed play, just not executed.
Guerra in at quarterback, hands a straight dive. Ball comes out down at, they're going to mark him down at the 4. 2:30 left in the game. The Hornets are trailing by 7. It's the Warriors 35, the Hornets 28 here on SportsNetUSA.net.
And you got to realize if you're Galvin, you got to get the ball. The way Kashawn was running down the line, you have to get the ball out quicker because, again, it was a little bit too late and a little bit too soft on the throw to be a completed pass.
They're going to get the clock that's going to tick down. It's going to be under 2 minutes when they hike it.
2 timeouts left for the Hornets.
They need to make a stop here. Straight dive play up the middle. Should call a timeout.
And now they do at 1:48 on the clock.
So this is the game. If the Hornets can't make a stop, they'll have no opportunity to win this game. And Corey, I can't say enough about the Warrior defense. The Warrior defense in this second half has had the quarterbacks bamboozled, confused, not knowing which way was up, and they have blitzed at the opportune time and taken all-out chances, and those all-out chances have worked for them.
Yeah, they made adjustments at halftime, and those adjustments have paid dividends for them. And again, at half, it was 28-21. Only 2 touchdowns scored, so it's not the fact that they've been explosive on offense, is they've just executed on offense.
But they've been good on defense. They gave up 28 points in that first,
those,
and they haven't given up anything.
No, they haven't given up anything. And with a couple turnovers in the second half, they haven't given up anything.
You know, so
that Fullerton offense in the first half was the Fullerton offense that we've seen. We've seen they diversified themselves in the first half. Second half, they have not.
Here they come. Garrett keeps it himself, tries to get through the line of scrimmage. He's not going to make it. Fullerton should call a quick timeout. They do. So with 1:41 to go.
True Fullerton fashion, Mark. Game ain't over. You don't have any timeouts, but you still have 1:38 on the clock. And I know it's at the 10-yard line, so you're going to kick the ball away.
Wait a minute. Ryan Longoria is back on the team? You know what game I'm thinking of.
I know what game you're thinking of. But again, game's not over for Fullerton. You still have to have something positive here. So are they going to go for the all-out blitz? Throw
No.
10? No? Or are they going to have a return with Kashawn?
I got to go with a return. I'm too afraid at this stage of the game that if you accidentally run into the kicker, game's over.
Yeah.
So you play a return.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get called for holding, it's going to be marking the ball backwards.
Yeah, you can deal with that. But
you can deal with a holding
roughing
call.
or even a running into the kicker is going to be a first down.
That's right.
And because they missed the last call, it would be a roughing.
And you can't go offsides, Corey, so you can't get so crazy that you flinch. Kashawn's got to pick it up and take off running now. He gets down, grabs it at the 45, turns upfield, gets across the 40 and all the way to the 38-yard line. There is 1 minute, 38 seconds left in this game. The Hornets trail by 7, and it'll be first down and 10 on the 38.
And it's doable because this is where you work in practice every day. You've got a 2-minute drill, you got a 4-minute drill, you got a 1-minute drill. And you, with no timeouts, you have enough time that you can't be afraid to work the middle of the field.
Coy Thomas comes to the near side of the field. Brandon Rankin is the running back. Galban is the quarterback. First down and 10. At the 38, the Hornets trail by 7. The clock will be ticking. Here they come. Galban steps up, has time, should run out of bounds, does. At the 28-yard line will get holding against the Hornets.
And that's what you have to worry about when you're going to hold the ball.
And Corey, here's the thing too, from an offensive point of view, they have been outthought against the defense that has basically said, hey, you know what, we're coming at you. I'm sorry, they have. We're coming at you, and if you can't stop us, we're going to keep coming at you till you can stop us. They're up on the line of scrimmage again. They're coming again. Here they come. Galban's going to get hit. Throws. Brandon Rankin gets hit. Galban gets knocked down. It'll be second down and 20.
And Fullerton's been in this position, these positions before. And again, they have the idea to move the ball down the field. And at this time, it's a little bit different look. They're only rushing 4, but the linebackers are playing up, waiting for the back to come out of the backfield. So we'll see what Fullerton has here. Because Sean Griffin is their live wire. If he gets the ball, anything can happen.
Galban rolls away from the pressure, throws to Kashawn Griffin. He's got to stay on his feet, got to stay in bounds, finally runs out of bounds. Runs out of bounds at the 34. They're going to mark him down at the 35. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 8. Clock stops because he ran out of bounds.
And still,
Charles Byers to the near side of the field. Corey, he hasn't seen a ball all night long.
Still workable. Still no panic. You don't have to work the sidelines yet. You can still get it down and pick up a 1st down. Clock stops.
Here comes the pressure. Galban throws across the middle of the field. Taken right there. Taken by Huffman. Huffman turns the corner. We get flag. It's going to be against the Hornets.
And it's
illegal pick by the Hornets.
It's not going to be an illegal pick. It's going to be unnecessary roughness hitting a defenseless player, and that's an unsportsmanlike conduct foul. That could be offensive targeting, Mark, and an ejection from the game. That's Mike McCray. And again, they got the play that they wanted, a deep square in with Huffman, and again, underneath the safeties, in front of the cornerbacks, and you pick it up. And there's no need to make that block. You have to be smarter than that in crucial times.
So it was 3rd down and 8. They throw a crossing pattern that gets caught by Huffman around the 20. He comes to our side of the field, going from west to east, and then the block is thrown. No block, the Hornets get a 1st down, and Huffman goes out of bounds and stops the clock. But now there will be the assessment of the block on the play.
So it's an 18-yard gain, or actually a 19-yard gain. Actually, you're going to say an even 20. So an even 20-yard gain, it would have been 1st down and 10 from the 15.
And Garrett is out on the field, Corey. He wants an explanation on why there was a flag.
Mark, the explanation is
so they called it on Mike McCray.
So I think Garrett is wondering, replay 3rd down when it's a 1st down. So let's hope the young man is okay, because that was a brutal block.
Well, I don't understand how you would replay 3rd down either.
Yeah, because it should be, and we're going to have to look at the rule books again, but it should be 1st down from the 30. Well, if they call it at the 15, at the 15-yard, yeah, 1st down at the 30.
They're going to mark, okay. So that's, and I think that's what Garrett's coming out for. It's a 1st down, so how can you call it 3rd down?
So they picked up the 1st down. I believe that is Devin Jarvis, who's just had an outstanding game at the safety position. And that is Jarvis. Again, an outstanding game. He's made plays all over the place.
Okay, well, now I'm going to have to go out with the coach's show and try to have this told to me why it's 3rd down still. Why we're replaying the down. 3rd down and 4 at the 30. So they got a 1st down, but they're going to replay 3rd. They moved it back for 15 yards from where they got. Here they come. Galban going back, overshoots. The receiver gets tripped, and there's no call on that.
And that should, and Mark, that should be pass interference, and the flag should have been thrown. But yet no flag is thrown. They're going to say the feet got tangled up. No, the feet, feet got tangled up. That's pass interference. But again, no call.
So if you're a Hornet fan, it's 3rd down and 4. They throw it down to Huffman at the 10. He gets tangled up with the defender. He goes down at the 10, no flag. It is now 4th down and 3 at the 30. 56 seconds to go. This is game if the Hornets can't get a first.
And I'll go back to it. It should be 2nd down.
Galban, middle of the field. Kashawn Griffin gets pulled down.
And there's no call. Now, okay, I'm sorry. That is bad officiating on that call because Kashawn Griffin was held and pulled down. He couldn't make the catch. So Fullerton is going to drop to 3-2 on the season. Not necessarily they would have scored, but again, it should have been first down, and these last two plays were pass interference and holding. Fullerton doesn't get a chance to score. But again, a good win by El Camino because they came back from a halftime deficit to pull out the victory.
Well, and let's give credit where credit is due. The El Camino defense became smothering, and the Fullerton College offense just disappeared into smoke.
Yeah, and this is the first time we've seen in a long time that the Fullerton College defense couldn't make those stops necessary to win the game or keep the offense or keep the score ahead.
So the Hornets are going to go into bye week with a loss against El Camino, as El Camino's going to come away with a victory 35-28 over your Fullerton College Hornets here on Sportsnet USA.net. As the clock ticks down, yeah, two questionable calls at the end, but both Corey Neyland says he doesn't have his headset on. He's going, hey, they were flags. Let's not say they were questionable. But El Camino comes with a stunning victory over Fullerton College Hornets. So for Corey Neyland, Gabby Neyland, I'm the old guy. Don't forget, bye week next week, and then Thursday night football at Chappelle Stadium as your Fullerton College Hornets lose to El Camino 35-28 on Sportsnet USA.net.